recently it was announced that Pete Overzet will be streaming this season as the fantasy football expert on a show with Kay Adams, Cam Newton, Derek Carr, big stars in the industry for YouTube directly. And people have been in my DMs blowing up asking me, Neil, why did you turn that down? Obviously, they would have gone to the oldest man to ever stream 150 Best Ball Manias before the second oldest to ever stream 150 Best Ball Manias in a season. And this is going to shock you. It shocked me. They didn't even ask me. YouTube didn't even reach out to me to ask me to be on the show. So I don't really know why that happened. But the good news is we have Pete Overzet himself here. We can bring him in to answer this question. How did he beat me out for this YouTube job? Pete Overzet, explain yourself. How did you steal this from me?
I honestly was hoping I never had to have this conversation, because I thought it would be easier for you to know that you were actually never in the running, like just assume that. But they actually told me you were the finalist, that it came down to you and me. And I asked what the tiebreaker was, and they said, well, we want to just kind of go see your bona fides as far as streaming Best Ball Mania drafts. And they're like, holy shit, oldest man to ever do it. Like, that's a hook for our show. Like, yeah, people love K, they love Cam, but like, that's a hook. And then they saw that I was actually the first person to do it, and also was going to be the oldest person to ever stream 150 Best Ball Mania drafts twice. Yeah. And they said that pushed it over the edge. So you were close, man. You were really close.
So if I do it next summer, do you think I can take the job from you? Like if I do 150 next summer, then I'll be the oldest to do 300, 150 twice. At that point, they'll reach back out to me probably and say, hey, Neil, do you want to be on this show with Kay Adams?
That's what I'm thinking. And, once I flop, right? Like, it's kind of like the Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones quarterback battle, where it's like not going first might actually be good for you, because you could lock up the gig long-term when I stumble and they're like, hey, we need a franchise asset in here for this show.
Love that analysis. And yeah, I think you're right. This actually is going to help me if Pete just really flops. He's not funny on stream. He doesn't know anything. That would be great for me. All right. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Got a little bit of an explanation there. We are going to be drafting some BBMs. I was just on Pete's stream. I'm sure a lot of people here already know that. They're probably coming from Pete's stream. So we've been talking a little bit, but Pete, any thoughts that you want to share with people before we get into this BBM draft on your what you have coming up, the rest of your how's best ball drafting season going for you?
Good, man. Like we just were saying at the end of mine, I'm like legitimately, I'm like tired and exhausted. I've been working on so many different projects and things that I feel, kind of in a daze, and yet I get jacked up to draft every time. Like, I'm having so much fun drafting right now, pulling up guys, acting on new information, the board feeling new. But I do have one thing that I can do for the audience. So I teased that yesterday on Off and On the Clock, I cracked open a Topo Chico as basically a proxy for a coffee pour because it was late in the afternoon. I'm ready to do another one for your audience here. And I hope I can recreate the acoustics that I was able to do yesterday. I hope I don't oversell this, but can I give the listeners a Topo Chico pop here?
That'd be so great. Please do.
I would say it wasn't as good as my one yesterday, but still pretty good.
Yeah, no, I thought that was strong. I'm not the biggest fan of the coffee pour. That's not the ASMR for me. I think the Topo Chico though, that's more my style. Wow. I know it's a rare thing. Most people love the coffee pour. They're begging for the coffee pour when Pete does his best ball breakfast. I'm like, Pete, just skip this, please. But the Topo Chico, it's great.
I can't, man. Eventually, if I skip something long enough, people forget. Like, I used to play the Ducks there, and I don't really do that a ton on best ball breakfast anymore. So I guess, but I would get yelled at if I skipped the coffee pour there.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I got to go smaller here. Let's see. Yeah, to see the whole board.
All right. 103.
103. Oh, I forget. I moved around how this looks a little bit. I think yesterday when I was with math. Do I need to do something to my screen here? Let's see. All right, we're the 103.
Mondays with math.
Mondays with math. Do you like CD Lamb here?
Sorry, yeah, I do like CD Lamb.
Yeah, let's go CD Lamb. That's actually a thing.
It's called Mondays with Math, but you did it on Tuesday?
No, we did it on Monday. But we are going to have to change. Yesterday. Maybe I did say yesterday. I don't know, Pete. I did a billion drafts yesterday. All these days are just running together for me.
I get it,
we did it on Monday.
I get it.
But we are going to have to change the name of that channel because Mondays are going to be dedicated to Monday Night Football for me going forward. So we're going to have to change the timing of shows.
The Showdown King is back.
is back next week, next Thursday. I'm so not ready for the season to start. I'm excited for it, but
see, I am like I am really enjoying drafting. It's been like, but the amount of like random projects and things going on, like I'm excited to settle into the rhythm of a regular season routine.
Yeah. No, I guess I kind of am too, especially because I'm doing so many drafts right now. It's also just fun to like finally see results after like all summer. It's like you know, every little piece of news moves the needle. It's like that's good for my bags, that's bad for my bags, but like we don't really know what the result is in the offseason. It's so exciting for best ball, especially just to like finally get some actual results.
Well, it's going to be insane that, right? I say this every year. I was like, every year the intensity, the overreactions get bigger and bigger. And this was the most insane year of best ball ever. Like I thought last year, last year to me was like there was like the core best ball players and they all ratcheted up the amount of volume and money they spent. That was what I felt last year. It was like this core is now leveling up and being like, we're playing a shit ton. And so there was all this added intensity. This year, you couple that with a huge influx of just the best ball space growing, way more people trying to become micro influencers on Twitter, way more money, way more contest offerings. The kind of shit we are going to see weeks 1 and 2, Neil, as far as overreactions, what's dead, what isn't dead, shippers, stuff. This is the team it is going to make our heads spin. It's
going to be things. The most obnoxious thing you have ever seen. Early in the season, the victory laps from some of the newer micro influencers is going to be just insane. With some of this guy scored 15 fantasy points. I told you he was the guy this year. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. All right. So do you have a favorite spot to draft from?
Yeah, I like the back end 110, 111. We were talking about kind of why 101 isn't as exciting and it's less about chase and way more about 212. So yeah, right now, like, doing drafts where you get Brian Thomas and Amon Ra or, Puka and Gene T or whatever those kind of combos are of top 15 players. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm more of a 106 guy. All right. So Bucky Irving, Lad McConkey, Trey McBride, anybody you like here?
Yeah, let's do Trey. Let's kind of build a different version of the team we just drafted with me.
Nice.
And let's do an elite quarterback here with these guys, because we had talked about on ours, we pulled up Hampton, but let's build an elite quarterback version if you're down for that.
Yeah, I'm down. I like the elite quarterbacks. I didn't have much early on. Like it was one, like I'd look at my quarterback exposure and I just didn't have any. Eventually I was just like, I just need to move these guys up to like early 3rd round. That's the only time you're ever going to get them. So I didn't get them at their best values because for a while they were, I think, going late 3rd round, but they put up so many more fantasy points when they hit than the other quarterbacks. Do you have a preference between these two, or is it just?
I've been doing Lamar over Allen there. Just funner to stack. Sean was kind of selling me on Lamar as being the clear cut quarterback one. I think it's close. It's one of those things where I'm like, this is the classic, right? You say, I prefer, Austin Eckler in the eliminator. I just know I'm going to be drafting a ton of Josh Allen and BRs this year. I'm going to take him in the 1st round and a bunch of those. I think season long in the way the stacking dynamics and stuff work. I like the Lamar stuff more.
Yeah, I think I like Lamar too. I was just listening to my friend Scott Barrett on Davis's channel yesterday, and he was saying that he's not really in on Lamar Jackson, and I asked why, and he gave the explanation, and I forget what it was, but I wasn't listening because it wasn't didn't help my bags, or it was not in line with my bag, so I was just like, I don't believe this. You're wrong, is what I decided. So I didn't listen to him, but he gave the case yesterday for being anti-Lamar.
This is how I have to find out that Lamar Jackson isn't a power law player.
He's not the Exodia this year. By the way, I think it's usually pronounced Exodia, but I've only ever heard Scott pronounce it. So I did like your Scott bit in your Best Ball Bros video. By the way, I'm sure anybody on this channel,
Scott bit,
you know what I'm talking about. The when you say I gave you these players last year. If you want this year's players, you need to jump through a hole, go through 65 tweets, and then
that was just a generic pretentious fantasy analyst who works at a paywalled site. I mean, that could have been anyone.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. And then you finish it by going Exodia. which
Oh,
is a Scott Barrett term. But no, yeah, just
oh,
pure coincidence there.
that is crazy. No, yeah, people always ask me like who the characters are supposed to represent. They're amalgamations of people. You know, there's like 4 different Davis Maddox out there, and I just kind of distilled them into one Davis Maddox-esque character.
I can't tell to what extent you're doing a bit right now. I assume this is just full on bit, because that was 100% Scott.
No,
Okay.
Neil. I mean,
all right. He's doing a bit. Okay, I figured it out.
I would never do a bit, Neil, especially on your stream. Yeah. You know, clearly what your audience wants from me.
No, they don't want
my best ball takes. They
hard hitting analysis, please.
Ball knowing cap on. Unfortunately, you're just going to get loopy Peter at the in the middle of a crazy week.
Yeah, you've been nonstop this week. Some exciting announcements. Yeah, that was kind of a bummer that you guys got one-upped by Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I keep like every time, like I completely forgot to mention even at the end of my stream. Easy reminded me I have the True Serum video. It's going to come out right after this. I have it scheduled to go live in like 15 minutes or whatever when we end. So immediately following this, you guys can go watch the True Serum video takes. Neil has one on there. You actually ended up being True Serum twins. Someone else had a very similar take as you. Actually, you and Nez. I'll spoil that right now. You and Nez, True Serum twins. All so you're in good company.
Happy to be twins with Nez. Garrett Wilson falling here to 46. Do we want that fall?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and slurp up that Dipperino, Neil.
I don't want this video to get flagged, but yeah, that's we talked about this on Pete's stream, that I have a video on my channel labeled "Slurping Some Dipperinos," and it's the first video I've ever had flagged on any of my YouTube videos. One that is labeled "Slurping Some Dipperinos," and not entirely sure how that is harmful to children, but YouTube has decided that it is. Pete, I don't want to say anything negative about YouTube now that you are, of course, a big YouTube star.
Yes, that is the thing now. If you say anything about YouTube or any content that even exists on YouTube, I will get offended
that's what
by my newfound association with big YouTube. Do you know what I think we should do here? I think we should do what we didn't do on mine and just pull up Zay Flowers here and lock in that stack.
Yep. That's what I was thinking too. We'll see if we're allowed. But Pete, we're a little bit late, but Garrett Wilson went at 46. Do you have anything to say to that?
I mean, I'm just very glad we're slurping that Dipperino. How about
there we go. That's what I was asking for. There you go.
All right. Is that what you wanted?
That's what I wanted.
That's
what the people wanted.
A monkey with a miniature symbol.
I know. I've seen you do it. All right. We have Lamar Jackson, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, and Trey McBride so far. Looking good. I like this team.
Yes. And it's like, you know, I like the give and take here, right? Because it's like we saw Zay Flowers fall to pick 60 in the draft we just did. Yes, you're technically reaching for him. The one thing we didn't do, like if Garrett Wilson didn't go, we could have done the Rashee Rice thing again. Mentioned I do like him with this new news, but we kind of like it's a wash, right? We reached to pull up Flowers for the stack, and I don't even think it's a bad pick. Like I think he should be valued here. Then you get the correlation, but we kind of offset the value reach by getting a huge slurperino on Garrett Wilson. So I think we're fine.
Agreed. Yeah, I feel good about that turn. Pete, I said it at the beginning that I would, at the beginning of my stream, people were asking about the man's coin, and I said I would show it off here. So here's my suitcase that it came in. Yeah, it came in the suitcase.
Lou sent you the briefcase with it?
It just arrived at my door. I don't know if there was somebody who like interceded and sent me, put it in a briefcase for me, but yeah, this is how it arrived for me, and there it is, right in the middle of briefcase. There's the man's coin.
Got it in the case.
How well can you see it? Mint condition. Yes, the mint condition man's coin. It says on it, on the side you are seeing now, says "Get paid, get laid" is of course the man's coin slogan. It's a beautiful coin. Happy to get it. PSA 6.9. Christian says, "Yeah,
here's
that's exactly
question,
right."
Though, how tethered to that coin are you? Like, I'm just saying, like, what kind of offer would it take if someone kind of swooped in and wanted to get their hands on that? I mean, can it be bought, or is it truly priceless for you?
Yeah, I mean, it can't be bought with US currency, obviously. Mm-hmm. Throw like 5 Bitcoin at me, I'll consider. If you have 5 physical Bitcoin, I want to be clear. I'm not taking the crypto, whatever. If you have 5 physical Bitcoin, I would trade. I think I would trade it for that. That's about the line for me.
Okay. All right. There you go. That's the offer. And anyone else who's a man's coin holder, you kind of know what the market is right now based on that offer from Neil.
Billy, sorry, that's a little low for me, Billy. 1 Bitcoin. Yeah, 5. 5 is the market. 5 physical
Devontae
Bitcoin.
Smith fall into the mid 6th, huh? In this economy?
That's fun. So what got pulled up here? I guess Pearsall at 59. That's not that weird. Pacheco a little early, Pollard a little bit early. Golden a little early. Just like a lot of like slightly early. Yeah.
Yeah. Just everybody taking someone else instead of Devontae Smith.
Do you think are people just bored right now? I really think people are just bored right now.
They're bored, or maybe you got a lot of people doing portfolio things. It is interesting. This drafter gets Devontae Smith with AJ Brown. They obviously miss out on Hurts, but still pretty interesting there.
Yeah. Pretty sure I know them. Dorito. Okay. Stephon Diggs goes. I was kind of hoping for that. Could take do we want a running back? David Montgomery, Aaron Jones?
No, let's do a 0 RB cooker here. Let's do Olave or Judy. Your preference?
I think I prefer Judy. No, let's go Olave because Judy shares a bye with just because I'm thinking there's a chance that we're going to want to take. I don't know. It's so up in the air. I don't really just breaking the tie towards the not sharing a bye. I've been doing. I am the original bye week bro. At least I claim to be. And I've been doing a lot less this year, but I'm still like cognizant of it.
Yes. I'm cognizant of it too. I mean, it's a good tiebreaker in those spots.
Yeah.
If all things are equal, might as well. I will say here, Neil, if he comes back, I want redemption on my Jordan Addison. I want to take another crack at getting McCarthy. I think 0 RB Addison's the perfect wide receiver. What would it be for us? 5 here?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have Rashee Rice on this team, so we don't need to worry about that.
Or Judy. I'm good. Like if we get sniped on Addison, Judy's great here too.
True. Oh, I put James Jordan Mason in there. Where's Addison? Up here.
Yeah, let's do. I mean, Judy slip is nice, but let's do Addison.
Yeah. Nice. All right, we're at 1051, so a true 0. We are not setting ourselves up in the same way we did on your stream to take all of those really fun late receivers that we did. But there's some fun late running backs also. So I think this will be a different kind of build that's still gonna be pretty fun.
Yes, and this is I like doing some of these full 0 RB builds here, and like you said, there's a lot of wide receivers that are also fun to take late right now. But even with the 5, I think it works out well too. You come back around, you can you can get your other quarterback, you can get your other tight end, and get your first couple of running backs, come back around, take advantage still of like a 6th or 7th wide receiver in that sweet spot. So yeah, I don't know. These are the builds I'm having the most fun with right now, are these 0 RB builds with an elite quarterback and an elite tight end.
Yeah, no, this is a super fun team. We'll see if we can land the plane. Robert RGT says, take your bye week 0s like men. Yeah, I don't like to do that though. I don't like to take those bye week 0s. Tyler asked.
I just thought of like a good like best ball bro sketch. Just like back in my day, men used to, guys used to take their bye weeks like real men, and they're like all barrel chested and everything. And now these days, these beta boys, they cannot even handle one single bye week without losing their shit.
He just dropped it this week. He dropped Best Ball Bros, and he's already thinking about the next best. So Tyler asked, "What is each of your favorite moment of Best Ball Summer?" That's up there for me. Is the dropping of the Best Ball Bros video was phenomenal. What wasn't it like 2.5-3 minutes in years past? And this year it was. You did a premiere on YouTube. I might be totally wrong about that, but it was. I didn't remember it being so long and so in depth. Was this the longest one?
No, this was definitely the longest one. The song also kind of helped extend the time. This is the first year with the song. The funny thing is the song, I ended up abbreviating. There's a whole first verse about Jalen Knoll in there. I'm going to actually, so I'm waiting. So Buck, St. Thomas, and Sacrilegious. Buck did the vocals and Sacrilegious wrote the lyrics. I'm going to release the full song, but I'm waiting for Buck because Buck uploaded it to his Spotify. And so I'm waiting to promote it so I can link to his actual Spotify so people can listen to it and stream it there. So if you've been looking for the full video and the full song, it's coming soon. Buck says it's processing, but yeah, shout out to those guys because they shared that in the Ship Chasing Discord, and I immediately messaged them. They shared it like 6 weeks ago, and I was just like, this has to be the end of the Best Ball Bros video. Can I have Zach make a music video for it? And they were like, absolutely. And I was just like, it feels like the end of summer camp too. When I listen to it, it feels like the send off to Best Ball Summer.
Who do you like? J.K. Dobbins, Mark Andrews, Jaden Reed.
Let's do the premium double at tight end. I don't think there's any other like value tight ends we have to have later. What are the running backs here? Because it would be nice to keep a running back or a wide receiver spot available.
Yeah, I mean, J.K. Dobbins is there. Travis Etienne,
Yeah.
Bill is there. Like
I would do Dobbins or Etienne here. I mean, the Reed value is nice, but I'd like to keep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Some powder.
Dobbins goes.
Yeah, I think Etienne is a good running back one here, and we can still bink out with trade stuff.
Yep.
Which is nice, and helping to balance out my one Jags running back in every draft that has turned into taking Bashal Tootin in every draft.
Yeah, we could. I've been doing some of that, like taking Tootin with Etienne with Bigsby, and just hoping that the trade actually goes through, that we see Etienne trade or something, so they end up on different teams and it's not a pure handcuff. That's the dream in taking that duo.
Yep.
So you brought it up briefly, but you haven't really told people about your new venture with the Badge Bros. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah. No, when you had asked me to go on stream, and I was like, I was going through a stretch where I was so busy wrapping up the masterclass course that I'm going to talk about, and then the Best Ball Bros and all these things. And I was like, I was having to say no to people for going on streams. I was like, book me after August, 22nd. Like I am down, but things will be off my plate. And so I was like, this is perfect because I wanted to come on here, draft with you and talk about it. But yeah, put together a masterclass course specifically for the battle royale drafts on Underdog. So those are the in-season drafts. I had a huge year last year in the battle royale. Multiple teams finishing in the top 10 of the big one, won a couple other tournaments, and had been like talking and like teaching the concepts throughout the year, like in the Deposit Kingdom videos and stuff like that. And I was like, I want to work with John and Nez, take all of these ideas and really build out this comprehensive course, because there's this idea of like, we don't often have time to get into evergreen strategy concepts. We're always talking slate specific stuff. It gets sprinkled in, but I get questions all the time from people who are like, yeah, I haven't watched all your streams, Pete, but like, is there a place for me to start? I've never had a place for them to start. I could be like, well, go watch this part in this video and this there. And so it's like, Let's make this course. I feel like this is the one area of fantasy that I'm a true domain expert in. You won't see a best ball 18 round course from me, but I think I play the battle royals at a very high level, as do John and Nez. And so we put this course together, shared all of our secrets, and it's an audio and video and text-based thing. Basically, however you want to consume it, you can add it to your podcast app of choice. You can watch all the videos. We got all kinds of charts and data, a lot of 2024 data analysis. I could go on and on about all the different chapters, 19 different chapters, all that stuff. But yeah, it's out now, underdogmasterclass.com. And if you're in the Deposit Kingdom Discord, there's a special promo code there to get 20% off. But yeah, super proud of it and super excited for people to get their hands on it.
Let's make our pick and then talk. Yeah, I don't see what's obvious here. Do you see anything?
Should we lock up McCarthy and be done at quarterback?
Yes, we should.
Yeah. I like I said, I'm not getting sniped. No bye week issues, right? 7 and 6.
Nope. Yep. Correct. Pete, I just wanted to clarify something here. For older members in the audience, you don't have a physical book for this? Like I'm supposed to like, I know, listen to this on my iPad or what? I don't get this.
Here's the thing. What I will tell you, I'll send you like $1.30 to head down to a Kinko's, and if you just save each page of the course and combine them into a PDF and then head down to a Kinko's, I will pay for you to print out everything.
All right. Thank you.
And maybe I should make a version of it, and maybe it's like size 36 font, so it's really easy for you to read.
That'd be really helpful. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah. What was the thing you asked me for one time? Oh yeah, it was when I wrote up like on my newsletter. I wrote like 10 things I'd learned.
Well, we got to make our pick.
Okay, let's not. We're not going to do Tootin or Bigsby on this team. Do Braylon again.
There we go. That's fun.
Yeah. Especially, we're passing on on Brees in that range. Let's grab Braylon coming back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was when I wrote up my like top 10 things I've learned from doing content for 10 years, and you were complaining that it wasn't a video.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because you can't read.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it really comes down to, is that I can't read. Yeah, if you could just do this all in picture form, that would be really perfect for me.
Okay. That was the goal here. However, you don't have to read it. You know, you can go the audio route, you can go the video route. Maybe for a premium, I will read it in an accent of your choosing. I could go back.
Can you do it in Davis doing Pete? Can you do that one for me?
How much would that version sell for if I recorded the narration for the entire course as Davis?
I mean, just the damage that it would do to your voice, I think would be would it be worth it for you?
So if you got $100 bankroll, we really recommend playing the playback when that opens every Monday, and then saving some of that powder on the side for the Deposit Kingdom $3 10 max. It's a super good contest, super flat payout structure, really great spot to build your roll.
I was crying in that video when Davis came on doing the Pete doing Davis voice, when you had sold it as I'm going to be Davis, Davis is going to be me. So I was like, oh, that'll be cool. I kind of want to see Davis do a Pete impression. What would that even look like? How good will Davis be at a Pete impression? And then he just comes out and he's just Pete doing Davis. And it was, you appear to be just as surprised as the rest of us. Is that accurate?
Yes. To be honest, I just thought what was going to end up happening was not Davis trying to impersonate me. I just thought Davis was going to be himself.
Okay.
Like that was kind of just like, you host and I'll play you. I wasn't really like, I don't know. I'm not saying that you can't do an impersonation of me, but I don't know. It's probably a little hard to do. Yeah. And so I just expected him to be himself. So when he was me being him, I was thrown for a loop for like a half second. And then I was like, all right, this is what it is. Let's roll.
Yeah, it was so funny. I mean, it was the surprise factor is really like, I feel like that's like a big part of comedy really hitting, is when it just totally catches you off guard. And that totally caught me off guard. So I was just like, what is happening right now? And then you guys had to continue doing the voice for, I mean, I guess you were going to have to do it regardless.
I was going to have to do it regardless. I was just like, is this going to be too much Davis voice for an entire episode? And apparently it wasn't.
No, people, ate it up. It was pretty great. The sidekick always wants you to take Ramondre Stevenson, like starting around pick 100. And I feel like I IKB off it all the time. Like constantly I'm IKBing off it, and I'm still going to end up with like 15% just because it's on there like for multiple rounds all the time.
Yeah.
But it would fit this team.
It would very much fit this team. Can I see the rest of the running backs?
Yep.
I'd also be down to do our guy OG.
Yeah, we could do that.
But I'm fine. I'm fine. Like I guess ETN, Braylon. Let's do OG. Yeah. If you have 15% Ramondre, let's get you some OG.
Oh, I'm not saying that I really have 15% OG or Ramondre. I'm just saying like it could go in that direction with how many drafts I have left, and given how much it's just like, and like I said, I'm doing 6 at a time, so it's like I'm typically like clicking in. Look, like I have 2 seconds to look, and a lot of times just like I don't have time to think about it. Click the top of the sidekick, so I'm going to end up with more than I want of Ramondre.
Yeah.
He I guess would have fit this team just from the standpoint of we don't have much in terms of early production from the running back position, and he might provide that. But so that would be the 1 point in his favor, I guess.
Yes, and I mean if he comes back, I mean this is I've never said run to the podium for Ramondre Stevenson, but I will let you run to the podium here.
Yeah, I'm not going to feel good about it, but I will jog up there if he comes back.
Just a light jog.
Yeah.
Let's see who's going to be our option if he doesn't go. I mean, like an Algier or.
All right, Ramondre comes back.
Okay, that's fine.
Jogging up, yay! Okay.
At some point.
Oh.
At some point, it has to be done.
Yeah, I mean, he fits the team perfectly. Honestly, like I'm kidding. I think it actually like is kind of perfect for this team, where we don't have much early running back production. He might have some of that.
For sure.
Rusty says, I can't tell if this running back room is alpha or dead. Correct. Yeah.
The answer probably lies somewhere in between and closer to the dead side. But we are, in fact, Neil, trying to win $2 million in an extremely top-heavy lottery-style contest.
Yeah. The Spanish says, dude, the intro to this was super awkward. LOL, did Pete know he was going to be asked that question? I like to keep Pete on his toes. I knew he'd be thrown off with that question.
He thought that was awkward.
I know. I think he maybe thought it was serious. Like maybe that's, I don't know.
See, that's what you've conditioned your audience to, so much seriousness around here. Now, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever have fun around here, Neil?
We
Is it
don't
just
have.
all business?
I don't think I've ever seen the Spaniard in the chat before, so he also doesn't know me. So maybe he doesn't know that I'm just deadpan. Is really what I am. So
Maybe our
apologies if that was awkward for
comedy
you.
doesn't translate to Spain, assuming that his
That could be
username is accurate.
That could be correct. 2452. How many more wide receiver spots do you think we have on this team?
I think depending on the type of wide receivers we get, like 2.
Yeah.
I generally like
that's
5
kinda where I'm
early
at
with
too.
the Addison. Like if we had, say, Judy instead of Addison, I'd be like, that could be a 6 to me. But I think the 7, and then honestly, like getting the Ramondre fall, like sometimes in these true zero RB builds, I'll legit do an 8 running back room. But when you get the Ramondre fall and you get some guys like him and ETN who should give us some really solid early season production, then I'm like, we're probably looking at a classic 2-7-7-2.
Yeah, I think that seems right. I think like pretty clearly just 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends on this team.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2-7-7-2 would work. That's funny. Chris says good value getting Ollie in the 12th and Ramondre in the 13th instead of Ramondre in the 12th and Ollie. I mean, that is exactly what we did there.
Exactly.
Although I actually, honestly, I don't know that is because I think Ollie is actually like flying up boards at this point to the point where there was no Coker goes.
I know. I was like, get that off the sidekick, please.
He politely sniped us.
Is Leggett gone or is he? No, let's mix it up. It doesn't always have to be Coker.
Yep. I asked the question on Twitter, what should I do when they're both on the board? Because I'm more of a cokehead myself, but I think that Leggett is probably still going to typically go earlier than Coker. Although I don't actually know if that's true. I've been seeing Coker go pretty early. I think in a lot of my drafts.
I forget. I think it was when I was talking to JM. Oh yeah, it was someone in the chat suggested this comp, and I loved it. That Leggett could have a Quentin Johnston type season this year where it's like still a spotty profile, still has some warts, but can get it done.
Pat Bryant also goes. Do you want Tyjae Spears, Rico Dowdle?
Let's go to the running back tab real quick.
Yep.
Do we have Keaton's gone? Do Spears. That's fine. If you can, those nimble fingers.
Got him.
What are we at? Yeah. Pick 171 for Spears?
Yep, pick 171, which I think is like, I mean, we just got the news that he's missing the first 4 games. So I think he is going to continue to fall a little bit. This is kind of where he's been going. I've been buying the dip on Spears a fair amount, but it was for a little while, the rumblings were that he might be ready for week 1. So this is obviously not ideal, but
yeah, I think, what you're trying to do in these zero RB rooms, you're trying to accomplish a lot of different things. You still got to get there, bro, which is why we took ETN and Ramondre. We're trying to get some low-owned guys who aren't going to be on a ton of lineups like Ollie Gordon, who've seen their outlook improve. But we're also trying to find guys who, when we get to week 14, we have like an 8th round value. And that's like what the Tyjae Spears is. If you can weather that, there are scenarios where, hey, by the time he's getting healthy, maybe Pollard gets hurt. And all of a sudden that contingent back upside, the same reason you click Zach Charbonnet, like that thesis is still there for Spears once he's back on the field. So yeah, you obviously don't want to fly too close to the sun with having too many of these injured or suspended guys. But I think at that price, I like the upside scenarios.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think he's a really, really strong pick here. I was not drafting a ton of him early because I've been super in on Pollard. But the coaches, like, from what they say, they want it to be a committee. Obviously, I know they said it last year. They didn't do it, but then Spears was actually really good late last year. So it might end up being more true this year when he's healthy. Obviously, this is a little added wrinkle that he's going to miss the first 4 games, but no, I think he's strong bet here.
Sweet. How many picks do we have left?
We have 3 picks left. We're at 2-5-6-2.
2-5-6-2. 1 more wide receiver, 2 more running back darts. This team just drafts itself, Neil. This is
it's turning out okay. I think we need probably a little bit more early season production. Looks like Chris Rodriguez is gone. He would have been a good fit for this team, I think. Have you been buying any Chris Rodriguez?
A little bit. Some of my co-managers have gotten me on him in some of these BBM drafts. I've just been like of the two camps, I've just been the centrist with Eckler.
I was going to suggest Adam Thielen on our Viking stack, and he goes a pick before us.
Let's do Kendre as one of these running backs.
Yeah, Kendre works for me. I think Dameon Pierce might be early season production.
Yeah.
Did I sell you on that?
Sure. Yeah.
They have about the same ADP, but I think he fits our team better because I think we're still.
That's a good point.
Kind of hurting early.
Will be a 0 early.
But yeah, we're both buying Kendre right now. He's a guy I was buying a lot early last year until all of the like negative camp news came out.
Yeah.
But seems like things are going better now. Also would fit with Chris Olave on this team. A little bit of a team stack there.
Yeah. And then, I guess the decision is if we don't want to let one of these wide receivers go, because the other team stack that I also like is the Ollie Gordon, Malik Washington. We've been drafting a shit. Oh, he goes there.
He goes. Yeah.
I think we just get the Kendre here because if we save the last running back pick till the end, that can get really gross at the back end of 18.
Do you like some of the later wide receivers a little bit better?
Yeah. I always can find a wide, like Jalen Noel's like free in every draft, and I'm still like very stoked to take him.
I mean, Troy Franklin won't make it back to us. He's the only other one that I was thinking of, but I'm happy to take Kendre.
Yeah. Kendre, like we're playing that angle with both him and Ollie of these lower owned guys who are pretty clear running back twos, it seems like at this point.
Yeah. No, I like that call. We might even get I've been seeing DeAndre Hopkins at the very end of drafts. I don't hate that click on a Lamar team in particular. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did our running back room shake out? Can it survive?
Yeah, I think so. So we're at 2-7-6-2. I'll read off the whole team now. So we're at Lamar Jackson, JJ McCarthy at quarterback. Our running backs are Travis Etienne, Braylon Allen, Ollie Gordon, Ramondre Stevenson, Tyjae Spears, Dameon Pierce, and Kendre Miller. Wide receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, Chris Olave, Jordan Addison, and Xavier Legette. Tight ends, Trey McBride and Mark Andrews. So we're likely looking at one more receiver here. I mean, we could even do 2-8-6-2, but I think I'm inclined to do, as you were saying, 2-7-7-2. Probably depends on what comes to us.
Yep.
Nice. So this is your second stream of the day. You're streaming again tonight with Jacob Sanderson.
Yeah, we'll do Best Ball Bash finale. So I'll have 6 guests from the audience hopping on. Normally we just have one guest come on and draft a Best Ball Mania team, but I'm trying to get as many people up on stage as possible. So I had the crackpot idea of 3 rounds per drafter. So it'll be like a game of telephone, Best Ball Mania draft. You got to come on and build on the reality that the guest already established. So that should be fun / chaotic. And then, Jacob Sanderson, randomizer finale. I always try to do some kind of little quirk or twist for it as opposed to a normal draft. And I've had this idea for a while. I've actually never been to one myself, but they're called PowerPoint parties, and everybody brings like on a
I've heard of this too, actually.
Yeah. And, you just make like, there are little seals living on the moon, and you put some funny photos, and then that person, someone pulls it out of a hat. They have to go deliver that presentation with a straight face. So we had like these, not full blown presentations, but just small little, like one slide, different hot takes, whatever. And Jacob and I are going to have to sell those as our own PowerPoint presentations. And we're just going to alternate doing that throughout the course of a draft.
No, that sounds amazing. When you were describing that earlier, I was like, that sounds really, really funny. That'll be fun to watch for sure.
Let's see here. Do we have any correlation? Baltimore, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit. Yeah.
Trey Harris falling to the end of the 18th is pretty good. And Mitchell. Anybody else that you like here?
No, I mean, I do kind of try to hunt for some ownership stuff, which is why the Trey Harris and Jalen Noel are like a little less. It would be Adonai, Trey, or Jalen Noel for me. Your choice.
Let's go. Did that work? Yes. Okay. We got a late Adonai Mitchell. I think he fits the team pretty well. He's been getting some buzz. He's pretty exciting. Trey Harris. I mean, it's tough for me to resist at the end of round 18. I was talking with Scott Barrett yesterday. I think it was Scott. I was talking with somebody who's super out on Trey Harris. He's a guy that I've been in on all off season, and my bags are packed early with Trey Harris, unfortunately. It's kind of a tough click for me now, but in the 18th round it comes. Happy to get Adonai Mitchell there. I'll read off the team. So we end up with Lamar Jackson, JJ McCarthy, Travis Etienne, Braylon Allen, Ollie Gordon, Ramondre Stevenson, Tyjae Spears, Dameon Pierce, Kendre Miller, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers, Chris Olave, Jordan Addison, Xavier Legette, Adonai Mitchell, Trey McBride, and Mark Andrews. Pete, what do you think of the team? Can this one advance? Can it win when we get there?
Yeah, I mean, this is the meme, right? Love your quarterbacks, love your tight ends, love your wide receivers, a little worried about your running backs. But I will say, like, I drafted an extreme zero RB team like this with Sean on the Deposit Kingdom channel. And like our running back ones were, Scatabo, Tootin, we had Bill on there. It was like all rookies. Keaton Mitchell, Shipley, some really big contingent. And you do legitimately wonder in those, how do you have enough early season running back points to make that work? Here, when you get ETN, you get Ramondre. I even think Braylon Allen and Ollie Gordon, like part of the selling point is their week 1 roles in addition to the contingent upside. So obviously we have to sit on Spears, you sit on Kendre, but for a zero RB room, we're actually kind of lighter rookies than you actually normally would be.
True.
Which makes me think that this team can actually put up some points early, and you have enough differentiated type of bets where I can see because the way these work is like you just need 1 to 2 guys at each point of the season. You don't need them all to hit right away. It's like, ETN and Ramondre early, and then, Braylon comes on in the middle, and then all of a sudden Tajay Spears supercharges it down the stretch. Like you just need it layered in there. And I think this has like a good texture to give us that layering effect.
Yeah, no, I think it actually ended up. It's funny because I think it is Ramondre Stevenson that ties the room together for me. Doing Big Lebowski here. I think that he really did. Like I think he's like the early season running back that helps out on this team, getting that 20 pick fall there for Ramondre Stevenson, a guy that, like I said, I'm IKBing off him so much, but on this team, I actually like. Yeah, I think that works. And I'm not sure we would have gotten it if we had gone Ramondre first. I feel like people are really eating up Ollie Gordon right now, so I'm not sure we would have gotten him to fall. So. Yeah, I love the way that fell to us. I think we got some nice things falling to us where we needed them. All right, Pete, I know you're super busy, so I'm not going to take up more of your time. You got to get ready. Another stream tonight, but anything else that you want to tell people about before you get out of here? I guess you've got the Deposit Kingdom video coming out, so there's one thing.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I actually just pushed live on that, so
Nice.
You guys can go watch that right now. Neil has.
Don't do it yet though, because I'm going to continue. Go
ahead. Sorry. Yes. Wait till you watch his stream. It is evergreen. A lot of these takes. It was actually fun because to get this all put together, I had to request these in advance. So some of these takes, there's been news and stuff that breaks. Neil's was more of a macro take, so that was going to be evergreen. Some of the player takes, have shifted around a little bit, but just super fun to get everybody's true serum takes here. So yeah, go check that out when you get a chance. And then tonight, obviously, Best Ball Bash randomizer finale. And then the other main thing, underdogmasterclass.com. Would love for you guys to check it out. There is like a free preview to it. Like if you get your email, you can do the intro. You can get a feel for like what the player looks like, how you progress through the course. You can hear us talk about everything that's in it, etc. So I just recommend that if you want to just, before you even purchase, just see if you actually like the experience of it. So you can just sign up and check that out. But yeah, underdogmasterclass.com.
Underdogmasterclass.com. All right, check that out when you have a moment for those battle royales. Pete, really appreciate you coming on. Last summer we did this at the end of August. That was a really fun stream. Bring you on at the end of August this year. Really appreciate you coming on once again. And I look forward to your show tonight. Thanks. I'll catch you later. All right.
Thank you, Neil. We'll see you
later, Pete. All right, we're going to continue. I am going to be solo for a while now. I'm going to throw on my music as I like to do. Let me turn it down first. Don't want it blaring at you. What do we think? 22? I think that's about right. Is this good? This is good volume, I think. All right. I'm going to continue. I got to get some more best balls out of the way. Like I said, maybe I said it on Pete's stream, but I have 40 some odd BBMs remaining. I've still got 40 some odd DK millies. So for today, we're gonna keep going with the best ball manias. I'm gonna jump into one right now. If I can find it. I do appreciate them hiding it so that people are not just going immediately. Okay, I got 47 left. Buy me a little bit of time. For the streams, I will only be doing one at a time. As I was telling Pete earlier, I've been 6 tabling these BBMs the past couple days, which is a bit much. It is a bit much, but it's not going that poorly. I think in general it's going okay, although I'm not really on top of like what's on this team. What am I trying to do? So I'm not trying to do anything fancy. I'm generally doing a lot of top of the sidekick unless I really hate it. I guess that's not true. I still do a fair amount of IKBing, just because there are players that I just like a little bit better. So early on, I'll do more of my own picks. But it's really helpful to have the sidekick make those quick picks. Perfect. Thank you. Disbanded Brotherhood. The music, good. I've never played the music too loud. That's good. You went up at 25, Billy. I had one stream where somebody commented after, turn the music down. They thought it was too loud. So that's the reason I brought it down from, I was doing like 26 or so. I did. Lauren asked, did you save most BBMs for this week? I did. I'm a big proponent of late drafting in general. Now it's more so for like BBM for me than regular best ball. I think BBM to me, like for most people, I know there's like Crutches likes to do it early because he gets a lot of CLV value. If you're great at the CLV game, there's value to doing it early. But I think for the vast majority of people, doing eliminators late in particular is really impactful. But even BBMs, like I'm better. I have more success drafting later. Last year was my worst season ever in best ball, and I think part of that was the commitment to streaming all 150. So I was doing a lot of them early on, getting a lot more out of the way early. And I just, historically have a much better advance rate, much better rate of moving on when I draft later with the most information possible. So I did save a lot for now. It's also because I'm trying to max out multiple contests now, and like the Eliminator, I couldn't save, it closed early. I figured BBM would be open later. I did a lot of the side contests, rookies and sophomores. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons there, but I did want to do most of mine towards the end. Pretty standard draft so far. Top 6 go in the top 6. Oh, that's interesting. Who says, I remember Pete saying a while back, the music comes across way louder for audio listeners than on browser. Interesting. All right, we are on the clock. We're going to do Malik Neighbors. Kriya says May and August are for drafting, June and July for touching grass. I mean, I do a lot of drafting in June and July as well. But that's also like, I like the like getting different textures of your drafts throughout the summer. Like you like different players at different times. You're going to end up with a wider portfolio if you do it throughout the summer. So I do believe in doing it throughout the entire summer. But yeah, I like doing a majority toward the end here. This was around the time of year that BBM 3 winner was drafted. Okay. Wait, BBM 3 wasn't that Pat? I think I was on Pat's channel when on the anniversary of his BBM 3 shipper, the draft date. All right, I'm a big Bowers bull. I could not say that, but I think I'm gonna go Achan here. Kind of buying the dip a little bit, getting some unique combos with Achan. Sounds like he's going to be ready week 1. Al Boogie said he drafted his night. Al Boogie had a 9th place team in BBM. I forgot. I think I knew that at the time. Was it BBM? I think I remember him having success, but that's impressive if it is. Is the sidekick worth getting? Love what Pat and team have done with it. Just a steep price point. I mean, I think it's $200 for the rest of, or like $200 a month right now. So depends on how much you're gonna be drafting. It would be worth it for somebody like me who's just doing a ton of drafting for the next week. If you're just hammering drafts, then I think it's absolutely worth it. If you're doing, $300 in volume, it's probably not worth it, just because it costs $200. So that's a lot of money to pay. But yeah, I'd say if you're doing more than like $400, $500 in drafts, it might be worth it. It's particularly nice for if you're in a bunch of slows. Also, I love it for that. Obviously, it should be like, it's helpful for fast also. I use it a little bit less on fast, just because it saves you a lot more mental space with slows when you're on the clock and 50 of them. But yeah, I think it's worth it in general. But at this point, we have 1 week, a little over a week of drafting left. So it just comes down to how many drafts you're going to be doing. BBM4, gotcha. Drinking at what time is it where you are, RGT? No judgment. 11th place, okay. No, you didn't. Jimmy says he got HN at 30 on DraftKings, like this week. Are you talking about? That's insane. All right, we're not getting elite quarterback on this one. Polite hater, politely taking the player I want again. This guy, this hater. All right. I'm not a big Marvin Harrison guy. Wait. Yeah, I'll take Kittle. I don't have Bowers on this one. Okay, good. Because I like a lot of like the later receivers better than the ones at the top here. I'll take the value if one of these guys falls, but BPC in the draft with us, Parker Colonna. I think going to be drafting with me next week. Talking about having him on the channel for some best ball. Chuba Hubbard at 38. All right, I am going to actually take Marvin Harrison here. I'm not going to have much. I like to have some exposure to most players early on. So when he falls 9 picks past ADP, I'll take a share there. Yeah, God bless the Q tag is right on DraftKings. Ooh, that's beautiful. RJT on PTO. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten HN at 24 yet. I think I've seen it. I'm trying to remember. Maybe I did once on a stream draft. Ryan says, I think for elims and smaller contests, drafting with the most info in August is the best time compared to massive field BBM where you need the absolute nuts to win. I'd assume May is the best time. They're actually Jack Miller at Establish the Run. And I'm big time on not putting too much weight on what has happened so far. So I don't think this is the be all end all, but based on his research for the past few years, drafting late has actually been better, not just for like scoring more fantasy points in weeks 1 through 14, but actually for the like top level outcomes, like top 1% finishes have typically been more late drafters over the past few years, which, you know, might surprise some people. It's like, to me, it's, you can look at it both ways. This year might be a great year for getting that CLV. So my thesis of drafting late might end up being wrong because there are people getting, you know, J.K. Dobbins with Keenan Allen with, you know, all those 18th round guys who have now moved up quite a bit. You might have them on the same teams, and maybe that's exactly what you need. But I think in general, it makes sense to me that drafting late with the most information, so much changes. Sometimes you'll have those teams with, you know, you got some great value, but then they're going to be with players like Joe Mixon, who might not play this year, or, you know, Quinshon Judkins, those types of players. So I think it all evens out to an extent. And I think you can, like, in general, the later teams are going to be better. But I think for the eliminator in particular, and I've talked about this, well, I'll make my pick here. If you can take a guy who's 4th on his depth chart in the 5th round, in my opinion, you just got to do it. You just have to do it. Oh no, Rashee Rice is falling. I'm going to take Rashee Rice. Trying to get more Rashee Rice in the bags. If he misses the first 6 weeks of the season, That's better for me. RJ Harvey overlapping by there also. So again, that's still a consideration for me. But yeah, getting Rashee Rice at 57, I think that's just a nice price to pay for a guy who appears to be on the way to playing in the playoffs. But what I was saying, for the Eliminator, because you advance weekly, so like starting in round 2, teams drafted that are doing slow drafts right now are going to compete against people who were doing fast drafts in May. And I just think these teams are going to be so much better. They're going to score so many more points over the course of the season that for the Eliminator, more than anything, it's a huge advantage to draft late, in my opinion. But we'll see. Could be proven wrong. BP Colonna says, trying to spam drafts right now. Me too. And then he says, this music sucks, by the way. Incorrect about that. This is my jam. Sorry, it's not techno or whatever you kids are listening to these days. Did I just take Travis Hunter here? I think I do. Yeah, just going to do that. That's fun. Who gets traded, Tank or Travis? My guess is Travis Etienne because I think he has more trade value. So if I had to make a guess, I would say Travis Etienne. Martin says he doesn't think they care at this point. They just want to get Tootin in there. I hope that's the case because I want them to get Tootin in there. But yeah, my guess is that Travis Etienne has more trade value and they don't value him. They clearly don't think he's elite. So he would be the one that I would guess is getting traded. I agree with Pepper Tony. Draft with more information is better. Who says, I was in on Mixon and Judkins. Most news recently has gone in your favor, though. You think so with Mixon? I think Mixon news has just been worse and worse. Najee has been a little bit better recently. With he's being activated. They cut some of their running backs. I think things are promising for. I've started drafting some Najee after pick 150. That feels like a decent click. I'll give some credit to Ship My Money for pointing that one out to me as he's been targeting him a lot. I was like, I don't love that click, but as he was, I was like, yeah, you're probably right that at this price it's decent. So I hate to give credit to Adam, but I'll credit him with waking me up to Najee being probably a fine pick right now. Yeah, exactly. Steve says drafting later helps dodge zeros and busts. That generally is going to be more important than getting a round or two of value on a couple players. Yeah, I mean, there are years like this year where it actually might be a lot of value that you're getting on some players. So it could end up, being with JCM and J.K. Dobbins and Keenan Allen. But also they were all 18th round picks. So I don't know how many teams are going to have all three of those together. So I'm just not sure how much it's going to move the needle. Whoham's got a Jefferson Genty. That's not fair. So we're at 0-1-4-1. Patty Mack went early in this one, picked 75. To an unstacked team. Sure. Okay. Montgomery goes. I'm a little bit nervous about Jennings, and I bought a ton. I am going to buy. Yeah, I'll take a Jones. I take a lot of Jordan Mason. I've been fighting back at all the people saying that Jones is more talented than Mason, but I don't want to have I like them both. I think they're actually both pretty strong bets around this pick. Ryan says the problem is that it isn't always a couple of players or a round or two. I have squads with Swift at 100, JK at 200, Aguka in the 80s, etc. Many of these are coupled with Mixon, which negates it. Yeah, I mean that is the issue, is that there's negatives coming in this direction too. If you hit on all of them, sure, you're in a good position, but it's still like there's so much luck involved that I would rather have a majority of my teams be 95th percentile teams than, yeah, I'll take Tracy. I don't love Tracy. Do I want Warren? Yeah, I guess I'll go Tracy. Sure. I think that I would, and this is actually, if you watch Pete's truth serum video, this sort of goes along with it. My take there. I think it's better to have, if I could have a bunch of 95th percentile teams as opposed to, and 99th percentile teams, as opposed to a bunch of teams that are 60th percentile and then 99th percentile teams. I would take a bunch of 95th percentile teams and you might say, well, Neil, you're trying to win all the money's at the top, but you can win with a 95th percentile team. You just need to get lucky at the right time. You're less likely to get lucky at the right time. So I don't mean 95th percentile team in terms of the outcome, obviously. Like I mean 95th percentile in terms of like how good the team is, like the EV at the start of the season. Not at the end of the season, because at the end of the season, I want the 99th percentile team. But I think a 95th percentile team, if you have a lot of them, one of those teams can win. You don't have to draft the nuts to win. You need to draft a good team and get lucky. Don G, a little behind with UFL in preseason. I hear you. Thank you. I ran a survey on what is the best music here, and this one won. You think I should make my own music? I am the guy. I'm not a musician, but I might try. I could do it. Yeah, and I just kind of addressed what Lauren's talking about. I haven't done any of those first quarter contests yet. Who MC says 45% Bigsby in first quarter, so that's the bet you're making for that matchup. That's pretty nice. That could be fun. The Spaniard, referring to Colin, the intro awkward, says, yes, I thought it was serious. Haven't seen much of you before, but you were on either side of RPS, and now I'm here, so you may see more of me. Glad to have you join. Yeah, no, that was I was doing a bit. I was just doing a bit there. Nobody was in my DMs asking me why I didn't get the job. I was not in consideration for the job. I'm gonna go Drake May. Fields is there too. Yeah, I'm doing Drake May. Oh, you're saying other than those two news items. Gotcha. See, this is what I'm pushing back on. Ryan says, not all are coupled with a potential high cost zero like Mixon, and to beat 660K people, you need a super team, which in my opinion is much more challenging to accomplish in August. That's the part that I disagree with. I don't think you need a super team. Obviously, you need a team that does really well. You need a team that is healthy. You need to have drafted good players that work out. But you're not actually competing against 660,000 people at any point in the tournament. You're competing against 12 people for 14 weeks, where you need to be top 2. Then you're competing against 16? I forget the exact structure, but you're never competing against 660,000 teams at once. You're competing against smaller pods and hoping to get lucky. All right, we'll do ETN. It's tough to beat 16 people too. Don't get me wrong, but you can beat 16 people by drafting a 95th percentile team and then getting lucky. Pepperton says, I think Mixon is still an extremely good pick at 100 plus, but that is apparently unpopular. Yeah, I'm not with you on it anymore. For a little while I was. But yeah, it's at this point, I think it's possible that he misses the entire season. They're evaluating him after week 4. That doesn't sound good to me. It's more and more looking like Rice might miss the beginning of the season. Just that's kind of the rumblings right now, is that is what the NFL wants. It's not a guarantee right now, but it's what we're hoping for. The problem, Peppertoni, is that it also sounds like this is an injury that could affect him once he's back. And he might have more competition now if Woody Marks and Dameon Pierce are any good. So I think it's not that just that he might miss 8 games. It's that he might miss 8 games and then come back as a shell of himself. He might, high risk of re-injury. So it's just like a lot of kind of tricky stuff going on there. But it could end up being great if he just comes back after 8 weeks and then he's Joe Mixon again, which I think is still within the range of outcomes. Yeah, I make the click sometimes. It's just not something I'm super in on. Wait, why? Who says with Jefferson Genty, I got Rice in the 60s. If it makes you, why would that make me feel better? That's an awesome price on Rice. Makes me feel worse. You're just gonna beat me with that team. Yeah, this is Steve says it right. Something like the marathon, you need to beat everyone, but really you're trying to beat 2 out of 12, then 1 out of 13, 1 out of 16, and then 500 plus. So not having zeros is pretty big there. That is my thought process as well. Billy says, Peppertoni, the fear is he had a procedure that didn't heal well, so we don't know if it's 4 games or all year. Yeah, I think that is the be gritty when others feel fearful. Slurp the dipperino, says Billy. I hope that Jawan Jennings is fine because I have a lot. 44% Jordan Mason. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right, what are we doing here? We're pick 136. Closeout tight end. I'll put it on there. Yeah, I'll close out tight end. I was tempted by Sampson there. But there are some later running backs I also like. Ryan says, the winner last year had 3 zeros on it. I don't agree that is what matters most. I mean, yeah, you need to get super lucky. Like it's not always the best team. It's typically not going to be the best team that wins in BBM. You can get super lucky, but that's also the point of why I want to draft a bunch of 95th percentile teams. If you look at the research that Mike Leone has put out there, like the teams that have the best EV in the finals typically are the teams that just have 17, 18 healthy players on them. Like that is just huge in terms of your expected value in the finals. Yes, they're not likely to win. The team that has the highest EV going into the finals is still 1% to win, maybe not even 1%. Probably not even 1% because there's 500 teams in it. Maybe there's a super team that has, is up to like 1% chance of winning. But the best team is typically not going to win in a field of 500. You still just need to get massively lucky when the games are actually played. So yeah, there are going to be teams that have zeros on them, they're going to win. Only 8 players score points for your team, so that can work out if you do have a supercharged team. But you can also have a team that doesn't look supercharged and is supercharged in the outcomes, in the players just performing better. And it's better to have more players giving you the opportunity to put up big scores and be supercharged. Yeah, I think this is fine. Krios says what you're trying to say is do 1/3 in May and try and hit insane ECLV and then do 2/3 in August. Yeah, I mean, I just do them throughout, but yeah, I'll put up my own music. I'm a music enjoyer. Maybe it'd be easy to make some jams, garage band or whatever. I imagine that the first quarter contest is very fun. I'm just so behind in regular best ball that it's been tough to find time for them. Yeah, exactly. Who am says the Ricky Pearsall pick was needed last year and it wasn't a super team pick. All right. All right, we'll do a Trey Benson share here. We're up to a 2-5-4-2. Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Devin Achane, Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, Travis Etienne, Trey Benson, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter, George Kittle, and Dallas Goedert is the team. Steve says the guy who won last year didn't win with his best lineup. That was like his 12th to 15th best team based on scoring. Yeah. Yeah, Mathology was the points leader. I mean, that was brutal timing for Mathology. What's your multi-tabling setup? I have double monitors, so I do 4 and split out the draft boards, but I think most people don't do this. I do not do that. I just do it on one screen. Wait, they got Mixon news today? What's the I think it was just the they're going to evaluate after 4 weeks. Is that the news? I had a feeling that this person was going to take Leggett. Sidekick wants me to take Wandale. I have a lot of Wandale. I have a lot of Coker too, but at 160, I'm just going to continue buying Coker here. I think he moves up earlier than this. He might this might just be the range that he's in. But I think he's a better bet than Wandale right now. And I'm a Wandale fan. I think Wandale is better than a lot of people give him credit for. Even in half PPR, I think that the spike week potential is still there for Wandale, even if we haven't really seen it that much. We just haven't seen the games where he puts it all together, where he gets the receptions and the touchdowns. If he can just have them in the same weeks, he could have some spike weeks. Obviously better for PPR sites, but I think Jalen Coker is the better bet. Just, again, we haven't really seen it from Wandale. I think Coker is a little bit more likely to have more of those spike weeks. What's your plan for DFS this season? Neil asks. Blast away at the Millie Maker in hopes of hitting number 2. I didn't play the Millie Maker much last year. I've been playing lower stakes. Just the field has gotten so good that it's hard to justify putting thousands of dollars on the line at this point. So I'm typically playing like, I'll play the $5. I think I'll max out the $5 Millie Maker week 1. But once it goes up to $20, unless I have a great week 1 and like profit a lot, I'll be playing mostly lower stakes, the $4.20 max, the mini max, that kind of stuff. And then I'll throw a handful in the Millie because I do want to chase. But yeah, I don't think I won't be maxing it out this year. 6 games confirmed for what? Who games? I'm a little behind in chat. I'm catching up. They said it's the first 6 games. Is this Rashee Rice news? Did we get that? Does a 95% team not qualify as a super team? But you can build 95 percentile teams in August, is what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to build them in August than it is in May when you don't have as much information. That's my contention. I agree, lots of risk with Mixon, but the high reward is there too, and you're just not giving up that much to take him at this point. I think, like, if he falls enough, I would agree. Like, pick 100 is not quite it for me, Mixon. I probably want him, 130 starts being a pretty decent bet. But I think there's more risk than you do. So and it's kind of unknown at this point. My Patricia says, I agree with all that except competition for Marks and Pierce. Houston is genuinely trying to start Chubb over both of them. Mixon back even as a shell is working over those two. You might be right about that. Wandell at 175. That's some nice value. Ty Spear is a suggestion. Or what am I running backs looking at? ETN, Tracy. Yeah. I guess I could do that. No, I'm going to do Keaton Mitchell. I think that's more fun. I think they're both fun, but let's do a Keaton Mitchell team. Jackson Dart I have not drafted a ton of. I'll think about it. I'll think about Jackson Dart. I think the big eliminator is going to be super fun, Sam. I only have one entry going in it right now. I unfortunately made my entire plan for best ball. Like, I budgeted out before the big eliminator was a thing I knew about. So I think they did it last year, so maybe I should have remembered that. But yeah, so I'm at this point, I have to remove other things from my plans in order to do that, and I just haven't found the time to do it. But yeah, I think that's a super fun contest. Oh, we got Furby Hubler in here too. Didn't even see that. Man, do I want to do... You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do Jackson Dart. He's looked really good. I got Tracy and Neighbors. That was not the plan for me, but makes sense. Uh-oh, I have a Control F search on. Hang on. Control F. Can you close the Control F? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yep. That's how I see how many... Nez taught me this. That's how I see how many entries I am currently in slow drafts. Good note. Good note there. Yeah, exactly. Just like a real NFL roster, having your players healthy wins championships. Play Darren Waller some. No, again, what I really need to do is just reach out to Willie Knows Ball, and I just want to play Willie Knows Ball tracks throughout the show. That can be my background music. Are you a big... I wouldn't call myself a big Pavement fan, but yeah, I like Pavement. I know a few of their songs. That is kind of like my one. I guess one of my genres. I liked them like in high school, and yeah, I've got some of their songs on my I guess on my phone at this point is what I listen to. But I'm not like a super fan where I know all their songs, have their albums, etc. They were a team. They were a band that I was like, kind of like I liked them. Listened to some of the hits, put them on some mixtapes in high school. By mixtapes, I actually mean CDs. I'm not quite old enough for mixtapes. Some burned CDs in high school. That's right. I am the guy that says you're from the land of Prince. You have beats in you, let them drop. That's true. Gotta let the music flow through me. People are always comparing me to Prince. Yes, I'm also a flannel slappy. Furby wants to know if I think his quarterbacks are too thin, stretched further than I would have liked. Need to make a stack. Have we made? I'm a little behind, so I can check and see if he's made a stack yet after my pick. Ooh, Pat Bryant goes one pick before me. That is Max Payne right there. That is Max Payne. I wanted Pat Bryant there. Do I want Malik Washington? Kind of fun. I have so much of these other guys. I'm just let's do a Malik Washington. All right, Furby, let's see your team. Bo Nix. I like that. Nix with Engram, you're already stacked up. Herbert at 144. I mean, what do you mean? You're not too thin at quarterback at all. Throw on a Keandre Lambert Smith. Oh, you got Trey Harris at 145. Rodgers, is that stacked up at all? No, I think you're good. Three, 6, 6, 2. Definitely good at tight end. I do think another wide receiver is probably the play for me. I don't think I'm going to do Amari Cooper. People are trying to sell me on Parker Washington, but they just got somebody new. I'll take Jalen Noel. Sure, take another share of Jalen Noel. All right, that's the final team for me. 3, 6, 7, 2. I've got Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Jackson Dart, Devin Achane, Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, Travis Etienne, Trey Benson, Keaton Mitchell, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, Rashee Rice, Travis Hunter, Jalen Coker, Malik Washington, Jalen Noel, George Kittle, and Dallas Goedert, the final team. I like it. I think that's a strong team. I think I'm just going to do one more draft on the channel today. Unless I'm really feeling it, then maybe I'll do another one. But I think just one more after this one. But I might before that, I might go in and make some slow draft picks and show you how I manage the board when I'm doing multiple drafts at a time. So give me a minute here. I'm going to let this draft finish out so we can see what it looks like for everybody. Let's see. Parker ends up, I'll read off his team, 3, 6, 7, 2. I'm not going to read off all the teams, but I just want to look at what a DFS professional, hottest player in the game, one of the hottest DFS players in the game right now. What does his team look like? 3, 6, 7, 2. Goes Puka Nacua, Drake London, Tedero McMillan, Devonta Adams. So he's got the game stack in his first 3 of his four picks. James Cotter, Jalen Waddle, Jordan Mason, TJ Hawkinson, Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney, Michael Penix. So now he's got a full-on game stack with Penix is now double stacked. Also has the 2 bringbacks. Braylon Allen, Tyler Algier, Tagovailoa with his Waddle, Zach Ertz, Tyjae Spears, Josh Reynolds, and DJ Giddens. So we got the double for the Rams. Did not get Stafford on it. Where did Stafford go? Okay, Stafford went pick before him. I wonder. I'm guessing that was the plan to take Stafford at some point, but Stafford often falls pretty far. Nice looking team. Furby finished it off with Woody Marks and Adonai Mitchell. So Aaron Rodgers, I believe, is fully unstacked. But as a third quarterback, you got 2 of them stacked up. I think that's fine. Looks good. All right. So here's what I do. I'm going to do some slow draft picks here. And then I'm going to get into one more BBM after. So this is the screen that I use when I'm doing my slow drafts. I never go into the draft. So if I have 6 on, first of all, I clear off all of my slows to be clear. But so when I'm multi-tabling 6, all I'm doing is I clear these out as soon as a draft. If I'm doing a fast draft, as soon as I'm on the clock, it pops to the top of the list, even if you have slow drafts going. But I clear them out. It kind of pops up, as you can see. It separates a little bit. And all I do is second it gets on there, 20 seconds, I click on it. Draft comes up, look at my team. What's the sidekick saying? If I have time, I'll look at my team. Sometimes I don't even. In that case, I might just click either the sidekick or, my favorite player at the top. I also made sure that my rankings are pretty good before I started doing this. I rearranged them quite a bit to have the players that I like better higher. So I made sure that even if I miss a pick, I'm going to get a player that I like with my pick. But I'm in this screen the whole time. I'm never clicking into the draft. I'm just doing here. So this eliminator team is a 3-5-7-2. I'm not a big Roshan guy. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll do Kendra Miller, though. I'll do Kendra Miller. Another eliminator. Franklin goes. No must-have players at the top. Washington, Jacksonville quarterbacks. Sure, I'll take an Isaiah Likely share. I don't see anybody I love. So if I don't see somebody that if it isn't making a suggestion that I strongly disagree with, I'll often take the top of the sidekick. Weekly winners, honestly, at this point, I'm just mostly letting the sidekick dictate for me. I also have not rearranged my ranks as much in the weekly winners, just a little bit here and there, but I'm just going to do it. Take this top pick. Pick 136 here. I only have one quarterback in this eliminator. I would think about taking a quarterback here. Who's my tight end? TJ Hawkinson. I thought TJ Hawkinson was a great eliminator pick, and now he's gotten a little bit worse with the Thielen signing, I think. So yeah, I'll go Goddard. I think there's enough later quarterbacks I can take. Oker goes at 154 here. This would be a team I would think about Leggett. Actually, let me look if I... All right, Leggett is there. I do think he's a pretty strong eliminator pick now as the probable wide receiver 2. Week 14 bye is helpful. Wandale is an eliminator as pick 2. Yeah, I did not do as much moving up. I rearranged some with the eliminator, but I haven't fully moved everything around just because I'm not multi-tabling those in fast drafts, so that was not as big of a concern. Another eliminator. I'll get into a draft rather than doing all of these. I'll do the next 3 that say 1 hour, and then I'll get into the draft because I know this is boring for most people. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams are the quarterbacks. I'm going to go with... Do I want to do Pat Bryant? Yeah, I can do another week 12 bye, potentially. I'm going to do Pat Bryant. $195 here. Let's go DeAndre Hopkins for the stack. Unique bye week. We'll do one more. 2, 3, 4, 2. See, I'm Samson over Judkins still. Do that. All right. That's it I'm just going to do those ones. But yeah, it's pretty easy on this screen to just stay on this screen and just click when it pops up. Look at the psychic suggestion. Look at your rankings. Make a pick quickly. All right. Going to get into a BBM. Take a look at chat. I know I'm getting behind a little bit again. How are you handling Godwin? Steve asked. Definitely positive he's not on pup. Guy was wide receiver 2 when he got hurt last year. I'm starting to buy in again. Yeah, I think that he's probably a pretty good buy right now. He's not top of mind for me. He's not somebody that I'm going way out of my way to get, but if he falls a little bit. So yeah, I guess I would say he's not a huge target for me. Maybe it's an oversight for me. I'm still concerned that he's just not going to. I've seen some medical doctors saying that they think he's not going to come back and be the same player he was last year. So I'm still a little bit nervous about it, I guess. Double X Dave, I know. Steve gets the coveted 6 spot, coveted by me. Not everybody. Anybody else in here with us? Maybe I need to give more thought to Godwin as I'm doing my final drafts. How many entries did you have when you won? When I won the Millie Maker, I had 150. That was kind of a wild week for me in DFS because I had been like really thinking about lowering my volume. And the week prior to winning the Millie Maker, I literally entered one lineup in the afternoon only contest on FanDuel, and I had plans to come back and enter more. It was kind of like, I don't want to put too much in it, and it was depending on how my early slate went, how things were looking. I was thinking maybe I'll put a little more money in here, but I ended up only having one entry the week prior in FanDuel in the afternoon only slate, and it had I was making a bet on Vikings backup running back. It was so Delvin Cook was out, Alexander Madison was taking over the starting running back, and I was making the bet that Mike Boone might get more work than people were expecting and might get shots at the goal line. He was min priced, so he was leverage on Alexander Madison. Sure enough, Mike Boone gets a goal line opportunity, got stuffed at the goal line. It was one hand-built lineup. I got third place in the afternoon only slate on FanDuel for $10,000. So then I was like, all right, we're back. We're had a good week because I wasn't like maxing things out at that point. Then on Monday night, it was a 2-game slate where I had a lineup that after before the second game started, I made a late swap onto Christian Kirk when he was on the Cardinals. I had Kyler in the lineup. Christian Kirk went off. I had a shot to take down first place. I had a solo lineup for $200,000. I believe it was Cardinals Cowboys maybe. And it was CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper. I had Amari Cooper, I think, and a train had CeeDee Lamb. And then, so it was like coming down to who's going to score the touchdown here. Unfortunately, it did not go my way. CeeDee Lamb scored the touchdown. So I ended up winning $15,000 on Monday night. I won 50 maxed it because of my big day the day before. Then Thursday night football was, I don't remember, it was the game that Daniel Jones had his long run with the trip. I think it might have been that game where he had like a 70-yard run and then tripped over his own feet. But I had backup running back for the Giants. Now I'm forgetting who it was. But he scored a touchdown and I ended up winning that one. It was a split for the Thursday night football showdown for $30,000. So by Sunday, I was definitely playing 150 max in the Millie, playing some other contests as well. Then took it down. So that was probably like the most big hits I've had in a single week in DFS. And it was a lot of like close third place, second place. I won the showdown split, and then of course the big one. News a bit ago that he might be back because this Godwin. I assume that's because he didn't go on the pup. It's possible. All right, I'm way behind. Shoot. All right, I'm going to try and catch up. 95th percentile team is one out of 20 teams is a 95th percentile team, essentially. That's how you should look at it. Interesting. I'm the guy that says, in my opinion, reviewing your 20 max exposure Sunday morning would be a great segment. I am looking for something new on this channel, something to give behind the paywall on this channel during NFL season. Yeah, Dark could be good in the second half. Happy to get him. Jaden Blue. That's funny. Yeah, everybody says I look like Prince. People ask me all the time, I thought you died. Thank you, Wade. I thought it was a good team. Appreciate you, Mike Rob. Steve had a good showing. He beat me a lot of days, just not that day. It's all about getting the board, keeping the board. Best Ball Jeopardy. Happily, I'll take Coker 30 spots at ADP. Oh yeah, this is what Scott said. The red zone touchdown rate for Lamar is sure to regress, I think was the take there. Let's go Kittle again. And then Sidekick can figure it out for me. Is it really Tet over Devontae Adams at this point? I guess it would be a buy overlap. So yeah, that'll be a good tiebreaker. Also, I think I need to be considering when I get to this turn, I think going back to Jade and Terry McLaurin makes a lot of sense now. I've done some of that when I think of it. Yeah, separate tab for slow drafts would be cool. Yep, Steve agrees. Steve multi-tables the same way as me. Good, good. Yeah, MVS signed with the Niners. That's kind of fun. Yeah, appreciate this. Vic says, God bless everyone that was affected by the accident that happened. Not accident, it was a shooting in Minnesota. Sad stuff. I don't believe anybody I know is affected, but I'm sure I know people who, I think my mom actually might have gone to Annunciation. She was raised Catholic. I think that might have been the school she went to, or the church. I don't know. But I know that like family friends went there. I don't know if they have kids there. I've not heard of anybody being affected by it, but yeah, really, really sad stuff. You're MVS guy, Ryan. Oh, Red's in here. Red is X. Okay, let's see. So you are the 5-hole. All right, I'm caught up on chat now. We're at 0-1-2-1. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ashton Genty, George Kittle, and Tet McMillan is the team. Tet also, I guess, does get a little bit of a bump there with Adam Thielen being gone. You're on an island there. Eddie says Neil greater than Bill. You're the only one who thinks so right now. Everybody loves their Bill. Neil is Al Borland from Home Improvement. I don't know. People say it all the time. I don't know that I love the comp. Maybe I just haven't watched Home Improvement, but maybe it's a fair comp. Ooh, you're draft number 147. You gonna finish it today, or you're saving some? Trevion at 44. It's funny, he did not get steamed up as much on Underdog as on DraftKings. He's like goes in the third round consistently on DraftKings. All right, I know what I want to do with this next pick. Not going to be able. I want to DJ Moore with my Kittle, do a little game stack there. Not to be. Hunter goes. This one, oh man, do I go? No, I got to go Rashee Rice again. I got to keep buying that. Price is right. Like Buka, a strong pick here. RJ Harvey, 4th on the depth chart, 1st in my heart. Fun little rookie running back start. Ashton Genty and RJ Harvey. Got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tet McMillan, Rashee Rice, and George Kittle. Yeah, saving him for tomorrow. Who knows? Might get even more news. Thielen news. Yeah, I mean, it was great for me. I did not. I have not drafted a ton of Thielen. I actually like. I am a little bit like. I think like I look at it. I think it should be a net neutral to possibly even negative. I know Steve is thinks it's possible. It could be positive. I think that's a possibility that it could end up being positive for Thielen. But I think he's pretty clearly, at least third, probably fourth on the in the pecking order for targets. I mean, almost certainly fourth. He was pretty good last year, so maybe he proves and comes in and like really shows out and is better than we're expecting. So it could end up being good for him, but I don't know. I'm not buying a ton there. I think it's better, obviously, for the Carolina guys. Yeah, I mean, that's 22% Coker. That's helpful. You think Naylor better than Thielen? I disagree with that. Naylor's fine. But I think Thielen, I don't think Naylor's playing. I would be pretty surprised if Naylor gets much run at all. Maybe early on with Addison out. I guess I would expect him to play some, but Steve says, my take is the Vikes had the same attempts as the Panthers last year, but threw for 1,000 more yards and 12 more touchdowns. Yeah, I think they're just a better offense. So, and they're in a dome. True, Naylor did score. I did score 6 touchdowns last year on pretty limited usage. Yeah, and I have noted that while the yards per route run is not amazing for Naylor, you wouldn't expect it to be on a team with Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson. He had time with them missing some games, so wasn't playing with that trio the whole season, but you would think that his yards per route run would be more muted in games with those players. I think he was very good from a separation standpoint. If you look at his AS score on fantasy points, it was really good. So maybe he is better than I'm giving him credit for. All right, we're going to take Mahomes here. Get a stack. I'm not like a hyper Mahomes bull. I know there are some people who think Mahomes is going to be potentially be the top quarterback this year. I am not making that argument. Could take Kelsey. I think because I have Kittle and I'm doing a little bit of a San Francisco stack, makes sense for me to take Jennings on this team. Even if I am trying to take my foot off the gas a bit there. Could have done Kelsey for the stack, but I've already got Rice. Yeah, that's true. Steve says also, even if he becomes just a better version of Naylor finishes the wide receiver 17 in week 17 last year. So there's even a world where he helps late. That is true. Oh, Steve was trying to push Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, you often can. Musty says Chiefs D is too good for Mahomes to just become a gunslinger again. Plus 6 games for Rice doesn't help. I mean, yeah, defense is not that consistent year over year though, and just one injury to the defense can impact it in a big way. I think one thing that I've found since I started doing more best ball is that just trying to guess which defenses are going to be good and bad is really difficult. And we assume a lot of the time that it's going to be consistent year over year, and then just minor things can make big impacts. Obviously injuries is a huge thing, messes up chemistry. So you're that is the likely scenario, is that they're going to have a good defense again, not going to be slinging it, but just small changes and suddenly they're wheels up again. Pepper Tony, don't say stuff like this on my stream. I think Thielen is dead of old age by week 17. Thielen's like, I don't know how, probably 6 years younger than me, maybe more. I mean, yeah, Spagnuolo, good defensive coordinator. All right, we're at 1-2-4-1. Patrick Mahomes, Ashton Genty, RJ Harvey, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ted McMillan, Rashee Rice, Juwan Jennings, and George Kittle is the team. Steve, I sniped him on Mahomes, so he said, screw you, Neil. I'm not going to let you get your double stack with Brock Purdy. Classic Steve. This is why I like Meg better. She would have just taken Cam Scatterby there. Peppertoni older than Thielen? Okay. Yeah, Steve knew that I wanted it, but he also has a double stack. Fair. Ooh, Caleb Williams. I was thinking I could do the Loveland and Caleb stacks. I don't need to do that though. I could do like Knicks, May. Uh-oh, there we go. Yeah, let's do another Drake May stack. Sakic really, I guess I do have the game stack. Even without Purdy, I've got the two San Francisco guys. Thank you, Davis. Davis says I enjoy. Oh, Davis going to steal my music. He says, "Is this from StreamYard?" Yes, this is Into Space. Have you not tried all the options, Davis? Is this amateur hour? I did a whole poll on my channel, polling like 4 of the options. This was my favorite, and then people complained about it. So I did a poll. Which do you like of these different options? And this one won in a landslide. Pete admitted that he's no longer doing Feeding the Ducks on his channel. So that one is also available to take. You can use it. I mean, it's one of the 8 options on StreamYard. I will attempt to sue you, but I don't think I'll be successful. I'm probably not the only person on YouTube using it. There's probably somebody even before me. Oh, night driving. This is Davis's brand. Yeah. This one you can't really like bop to it. I don't know. I like to occasionally just like feel the music flowing through me, do some head nods. Maybe do my white guy dance face. Not feeling it. Not feeling it as much. This one's mine. This is my jam. Yeah, good question. I guess I haven't even noticed that Pete is not playing anymore. I'm not sure if he would have his own custom music. That would be not at all surprising to me. Davis, I don't know if you were here for it, but I was saying people were suggesting I should make my own music. I was saying I might reach out to Willie Knows Ball and just listen to, the Willie Knows Ball playlist as my background. You got to admit, It's a good jam. He's put out some good stuff. Whether you agree with it or not, the guy knows how to make music. Sidekick once again wants me to take Ramondre Stevenson. I once again do not want to take Ramondre Stevenson. It's an ever-going battle. Could somebody just take him? No? Okay. Yeah, he fits the team. Is that true? Davis never listened to it? Because it would make me too mad. Oh no, Davis. I mean, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I'll take a Dobbs, I guess. It's good to know, to like have that knowledge about yourself if something is going to just tilt you to not engage with it. So good on you if you know that. Maybe when you're far enough removed from it and you're no longer angry about the situation, you can enjoy the music, because you probably should respond to it. I mean, I've been giving the actual opposite advice that you should not engage with it, you should not respond to it, but it'd be more fun for me, for everybody else, if you did. Yeah, that is absolutely true. Would have had no choice, but yeah, you wouldn't have been able to help yourself. So good on you. Good on you. I'm curious if Davis is in the Truth Serum takes video. I'd be curious to hear Davis's. I'm guessing Davis would give a player take in the Truth Serum takes. That's my guess. Because most people do. That's like what 90% of people do. But I interpret it differently, as like a take on best ball in general is how I interpreted it last year. And Pete said that he liked that. Martin says, I just accidentally joined a slow draft. I don't know how people like doing this. I see why they call it slow draft hell now. Martin, if you did one, you are not in slow draft hell. That is not what slow draft hell is. But one is actually the worst, because you still need to check it, and you don't have the like satisfaction of doing multiple. Typically, most people like myself, if you join slow draft hell, you're doing at least like 50 of them. Like you're doing a bunch of slow drafts at once. And then you just accept that you're going to be pretty frequently on the clock. You can do multiple at once, but it's really just a time saving measure. Like if you want to do 1,000 drafts plus, it's really hard to do that in fast drafts, because you need to be like focused for 35, 40 minutes, whatever it is. Whereas slow drafts, like every morning I clock in, I'm on the clock in 50 drafts because I sleep in. And then I just make those picks, and it takes, half an hour to do 50 drafts, and that's all those picks. And then I, rinse, repeat. It's a lot easier to do a bunch of picks at once, a lot quicker than when you're doing fast drafts. Once again, I will not be taking Wan'Dale Robinson. Maybe I could. No, I don't think I can. Do I go Liget, or do I go Coker, or do I go Bryce Young? I've got Ted McMillan. All right. I'm going to go. Is Coker? I think Coker might just pass Liget in ADP anyway. No, I'm going to take a rare Liget share here. I'm going to take a Liget share. Please don't be mad at me. I usually take Coker, but I've got Coker is the wide receiver that I've spent the most money on so far in best ball. So taking a rare Liget share, because if he moves up much at all, I'm just going to get 0 at the new price. Yeah, no real upside for Davis to engage there. Exactly. One is worse than 200. All right, catching up. Yeah, this is Davis's true serum, I'm sure. It's a good one, but he says it willingly, so like it's not really true serum if that's just your take that you share regularly. Adam Thielen, yeah, let's go. Mankato Legend is right. Yeah, exactly. It's a great time saving measure. It's kind of fun. It's especially fun like right now because you like I'll wake up and see Adam Thielen traded to the Vikings, and I'm like, how many shares of Jalen Coker can I get in these 50 picks? Yeah, this is exactly what you do. You log in, not even every hour. Well, I mean, for most of the summer when it's 8-hour clocks. Yeah, right now I would not want to join a bunch of 4-hour clocks. Yeah, I do. Like I do try to review them to some extent. Yeah, join us. Join us in Slow Draft Hell. A910. Exactly. Texas politics. 1 would be so annoying. 40 is just normal annoying. Exactly right. Pepper Tony, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I let you down this time. I will amend my ways going forward. But again, Coker is my most drafted wide, or actually not my most drafted, but my most drafted by money spent. My most bought. It is still 8 hours on DraftKings. That's true. Mr. River says, Xavier, let's get it. Yeah, glad I got a share here. What's up, WFM Warehouse? How are we feeling about Thielen back in Minnesota? Tomorrow night it goes down to 1 hour. That is when it truly becomes slow draft hell. All right, this team desperately needs some help at running back. But you know, and I know, that I'm not taking a running back here. Cokeheads, we are up. Pick 179, Jalen Coker. In the year of our Lord, 2025, late August. Come on now. That's just free money right there. The psychic is screaming at me. Please, Neil. Please take a running back. I will. I will do it. I will do it for you. Not taking Kareem Hunt, though. I will not do that for you. I will take a running back that you are not suggesting. Okay, he is. It is suggesting to me. Low down the list. Chris Rodriguez, come on down. We're at 3-4-7-2. Patrick Mahomes, Drake May, Bryce Young, Ashton Genty, RJ Harvey, Ramondre Stevenson, Chris Rodriguez, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tedero McMillan, Rashee Rice, Jawan Jennings, Romeo Dobbs, Xavier Liget, Jalen Coker, George Kittle, and Colston Loveland is the team. By the way, if you could, I should have said this earlier, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already subscribed. Helps me out quite a bit as I'm trying to grow the channel. And if you could hit the little notification bell if you want to get alerts when I go live. Let me scroll down on this. All of that, very helpful. Four-hour slows is truly hell because it's like sometimes you're on the clock earlier in the day. I actually woke up earlier than I wanted to yesterday because I realized I was on the clock and I had to make some picks. Yeah, you should, Martin. I would recommend it actually. It says next season I'll do 150 puppy slows and max it out all in one shot. That actually sounds like fun. What I would recommend is waiting until the contest is 75-80% full before you, and then just get into 150 slows. Maybe that's not what you want to do. You could, do what you want, but I think that is plus EV way to play. Then you get picks going when everybody, most drafts are done. Even later, depending on how large the contests are, if you can. But that's what I like to do. Or like wait until depends on how quickly it's moving. But sometimes I'll do like batches of 10, enter 10 slows, wait, a day if depending on how fast it's moving, or a couple hours, enter 10 more, etc. Damn, Huham says he has 16% Coker and Superflex. Fairly sure he wasn't close to 100% drafted. Yeah, that's nice for you. Yeah, we're loving it. 7 touchdowns for Thielen, Mr. Grapefruit says. I like it. Yeah, Carson Wentz, Thielen. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to draft any Wentz. I'm too much of a JJ McCarthy maxi. This is kind of a Brashard Smith type team. I like that better than Kareem Hunt. Let's do that. Let's do Brashard Smith share. Man, Troy Franklin falling too. I'm not going to do it because I really need the running back help. I'll do another Kendra Miller, I think. Tempted by Dameon Pierce. I'll do Kendra Miller. All right, there you go. 3-6-7-2. Patrick Mahomes, Drake May, Bryce Young, Ashton Genty, RJ Harvey, Ramondre Stevenson, Chris Rodriguez, Rashard Smith, Kendra Miller, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tedoroa McMillan, Rashee Rice, Juwan Jennings, Romeo Dobbs, Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker, George Kittle, and Colston Loveland is the team. I like it. I think it's a nice looking team. What do you guys think? We do need Bryce to be that dude. I think he might be pretty good. Although, he was much better throwing to Adam Thielen than he was to anybody else. So that's not ideal for our Bryce Young shares. Brutal. Yeah, tonight we're moving down to the 1 hours. Luckily, I'm finishing some of my slow drafts. Yeah, exactly. I love to do it at the end of contests as they're closing out. Enter a bunch of slows. I maxed out the eliminator. Eddie asked if I did a lot of eliminator or weekly winners. Maxed out the eliminator. Mostly, a lot of them still going. Doing a lot of slows right now. I was a big proponent of drafting them late, knowing as much as possible. Weekly winners, I only did a handful. But yeah, I think really, really fun contest. People are saying thanks for the stream. I was just thinking, do I want to do one more? Would anybody be down for taking a piss break and then doing one more? I need to take a piss and refill my water is the biggest thing. I'm like low on water. If anybody is around, it's also, I know, yeah, let's do one more. If anybody wants to hang out for one more, I'm going to do one more draft. I am going to do a piss break. I'm going to throw on my piss break video first. I'll be back in 2.5 minutes to do another draft. See you then.
This is a Piss Boys Piss Break.
You know what's cooler than 2 wide receivers through 2 rounds? 3 wide receivers through 3 rounds.
I had an accident. Hey, look everybody, Billy peed his pants.
Of course I peed my pants. Everybody my age pees their pants. It's the coolest. You ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
Hey man, Ernie pees pants too. All right.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Greg, why don't you go piss your pants again? That was like 8 years ago, asshole. People don't forget.
All right, let's get into another Best Ball Mania. I'll be joining right now. All right, we need a few more for this one. I do need to. I'm only doing one more because my dog is due for a pill. He needs his pill, so I gotta one more draft. Then we'll go give another pill to the dog. Pete is gone. Pete was here for the start. He can't. The busiest man in best ball. Not going to join for 4 drafts, but he did join for the first one. I think weekly winners and the eliminator are more fun as sweats than regular best ball, both of them. I mean, weekly winners obviously only if you're doing well. I guess that's true for both of them because if you get eliminated, it's not fun, but much more fun later in the season with the eliminator week to week, watching yourself advance. All right, we got the 1.7. I feel like I've been mostly like on the ends of the boards on this stream. I think maybe exclusively. So good to get a 1.7. The what's in here. Anybody else? Always wash my hands. If I get piss on them. No. I like to wash my hands. I'm a pretty clean guy. I shower twice. Actually, these days it's usually just once a day. I used to be a regular twice a day shower. I don't always shower in the morning anymore. The funny thing with the Piss Boys Piss Break video is I know that I'm going to be demonetized on here. It's not a strike against the channel. It's just you can no longer monetize the channel. But because I know that, I should just play the one that actually has the announcer in it. It's a better video, but I forget to play that one, and I just played the other one instead. All right, we'll take a CMC. But also, I should update it with better, better plays. Some of them were cool, not all of them. Thank you. BB McKiddo says, Neil gave his bladder for us. Be sure to hit the like button. Yeah, please do like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Bobby Boucher bedsheet from the water. I forget the reference. That's funny. Christmas Zone says, which contests are good sweats if you're doing bad, Neil? I want to do those. Fair point. Oh, that's Sam at the 1. Chi-Town True. All right. Chi-Town, not Chi-Town. Chi-Town. I was a big Bulls fan in the 90s, and everybody made fun of me for the way I would say Chicago instead of Chicago. And apparently I still do it. Chi-Town. Would have been nice to get another JJ share. People always say you're really technically the cleanest part of your body. All right. What's going to be, Shep? Do you really want those overlapping bye weeks? Seems like a bad idea to me. I don't think you want it. Thank you. Finally, I get a falling Puka Nakua. I see everybody else getting these falling Puka Nakuas. I don't ever get it. Finally, I get one on a CMC team at pick 18. We love to see it. Wait, you should do what one of the Underdog channels does and just show runs that go nowhere. You mean like not into the end zone? Like just show... I assume you're talking about Hayden and Josh. I think it's like you can play it if you do commentary over the video. I think that's when it's allowed, is if you like, it's fair use. If you show the play and you have commentary on the play, you can do it. So I could do something like that. I actually don't know how much. I don't think I have a ton of McCaffrey. Actually, I'll pull up Basketball Explorer. I think I'm probably underweight to the field on McCaffrey. So across all contests, both sites, I have 4.4% exposure to McCaffrey, 4.3% fees to McCaffrey, only 1.3% on DraftKings, where I think he's a better play. That's probably just bad, board luck there. 5% on Underdog. So a little bit light there. Bobby Boucher kisses his bed sheets and his mom shows the yellow stain sheets to his girlfriend. That's funny. Love me some Coker. Big time cokehead here. And Fannin, I think, is a pretty strong late round tight end bet. I know I had Tyler on the other day. He's not really a believer in Fannin late. I think he's just, I'll bet on the talent there. I think he's going to have opportunities in Cleveland. So I think I know that I am in on Fannin. I actually have a lot. Yep. I'll take that Puka fall all day. Don't drop the baby, Pepper Tony says. No pressure on me. So we got CMC, Puka Nakua. I'm going Josh Allen. I'm not a big Tyreek guy. It could be a supercharged team if I took Tyreek with McCaffrey and Nakua. I recognize that. Two years ago, this is like what you needed. At the time, it was Puka Nakua in the 18th round, so that helped. But no, I'm going Josh Allen at 31. I think Tyreek is a way to drop the baby on this team. Yes, sir. Agreed, Peppertoni. Reminder to please like the video if you haven't done so. I do it some. Nikki asks, is it okay to get elite tight end and quarterback in the first couple of rounds, or just stay away from that? I like to mix it in. I think there are times that, I'll get a Bowers with a following Josh Allen or Lamar and just figure it out later. Like if those are the best plays available, I think some people would disagree with me on this, but it all to me it comes back to every year is different. So you might look at past contests and say that never works out, taking both elite onesies on the same team. I think this could be a different year because we might have some awesome late round values at both running back and wide receiver this year. I think with Jalen Coker being a really strong late round play, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, maybe Leggett. I don't know. I just think there are some bets that I like to make later on at running back and wide receiver this year that I think make it possible to play elite onesies and have both of those positions. We'll see. I know there are some that'll disagree with me. Peppertoni's into it. I love rainbow starts. I've been doing a fair amount of the hero wide receiver teams, attacking wide receiver with quantity, ended up with 9. Yep, the what's doing it. 2772s. Sadly, I will not have the opportunity to take George Kittle on this team. That would have been fun. Devontae Adams with Puka Nacua. Do I want that? I could do Trevion. That's fun, but yeah, I think I'll do the double Rams for this one. Pete said on the stream earlier that Easy won the most unique location for his part of the video, the True Serum Takes video. I wanted to run it back. So last year I did it from my wife and I were traveling in, I think we were in Oregon at the time. We were in Oregon or Washington going to some vineyards, I think Oregon. And we were at one that was like, we were there in the morning. So we were like the only people at this vineyard and it was so beautiful. So I recorded mine last year at that location overlooking, the vines. And it was, pretty beautiful. And then this year I was in Boston at the time that I was trying to record the video, but it was like, it was the day I was leaving. I couldn't think of what I wanted to say for it. It's really hard to come up with what is something that you're not willing to admit publicly? I'm like, I admit everything publicly. I tell people exactly what my thoughts are. So it's hard to do a truth serum take. So I came up with something that kind of worked on Monday before I was going to the airport in Boston, and ended up just doing it outside of it was on the river kind of, but outside of not ice, but something like that type building. I did not find a beautiful location to do it. Some federal agency was right there. I forget what it was exactly, but I just I found a weird place to do brunch, and then walked towards the water, and then there were gates, and I was just like, you know what, I got to go to the airport, so I just recorded it there. So a unique location, sort of. All right, I guess we'll do Devonta Smith. We got to do the that's a week 17 bring back for my Josh Allen. So I did it outside. You can't even tell where I am though. I was in Boston. I was traveling again, but did not. I would have, if I had more time, I would have gone to the Charles, recorded it there or something. What's been your biggest win money doing best ball? I don't have any great best ball wins. I think probably I finished in the top 300 in Best Ball Mania. I think I want to say it was $2,500 or something. I think that's my best. Last year I had some sweats. I had one that I thought had a shot at shooting up late. I only had a few lineups in finals last year, which, I think I was actually fine by finals, like percentage wise of the teams that I did, better than my advance rate. It was, but it fell flat. It was like I need either Deebo Samuel or DJ Moore or Terry McLaurin. So one receiver plays 8 points. I don't know if it's true exactly. So I went from thinking like this lineup could really do some damage. I think it might have been blocked for first, but it like had a shot at putting up a top 3 or 4 score. Puka 70. I mean, a lot of people have been getting it lately, though, Grioth. Sadly, it's not super unique. Yeah, I'll take another RJ Harvey here. I think. Yep. We'll do that. I mean, yeah, I didn't get to the finals my first, I think, 2 years playing best ball. I wasn't like maxing it out, but didn't get to any finals. Odds are against you. Even if you're playing well, it's really tough. I don't understand how all the good players go half a round or a round later on Underdog than DraftKings, but I don't know which players go earlier on DraftKings. It's confused. I don't understand. Earlier on Underdog, you mean? Oh yeah. Yeah, it's totally different market. It's pretty interesting. Eddie says you have one big on DFS. Yeah, I've got a dozen wins of $90,000 or more in DFS across DraftKings and FanDuel, and then a number of other 5-figure wins as well. Mostly fantasy football. I've got a couple in DFS for maybe 300,000 wins in NBA, 1 in XFL actually, 1 or 2 in baseball. And then the rest are NFL. Millie Maker for NFL on DraftKings. I split another Millie Maker 4 ways for Showdown for about $300,000, and then we had to play off for the Tournament of Champions ticket. I won that one. Got another split like 13 ways in a Millie Maker for a little over 100,000. Yeah, I meant to get into the WNBA streets this year. I actually think like WNBA is probably a good thing to get into right now. It's probably like one of the more beatable DFS sports. Part of the reason I didn't is that ETR got into the game, and so I was thinking like maybe I'll do my own projections and it'll be a huge edge, but then they're putting out projections that everybody is using. Yeah, I'll go Edison. So that kind of disincentivized me. I think it went from being a Wild West situation where not many people are using projections to everybody using ETR projections, I assume. What's up, Emwald? How was the True Serum video? Rich, I do DFS content all over. Rich asked, do you team with anybody to give DFS football weekly best plays? Yeah, I do. I'll be streaming on. So first of all, Showdown is kind of my main thing. I won the Millie Maker in regular DFS for the main Sunday slate, but like I said, I've split multiple Showdown Millie Makers. It is, I think, probably what I'm actually best at. I do that on this channel mostly by myself. I do it up to lock on Thursday nights, Monday nights, and Sunday nights. And then I also on Mondays and Thursdays will be doing a show with Adam Ship My Money Share, another a great DFS player. We'll be breaking it down in the late morning, early afternoon also, talking about his product Run the Sims. So that's for Showdown. For the main slate, I'll be doing I might actually do something behind the paywall on this channel for the main slate. Haven't figured that out yet, but I will be doing Friday shows with both of my Bills receivers go. That's pain. I thought for sure one of them would come back to me at 90. Fridays, I will be doing a show for 4 with, I actually don't know everybody who's going to be involved. I'm not sure if last year I did it with Davis Maddock and Pat Corain. I don't know yet if both of them are coming back to that show, but I know that Squirrel Patrol, one of the best DFS players out there right now, is going to be the host of that show. I was the host last year. Now I'm going to be stepping into the analyst role there. On Saturdays, show that I've been doing for a couple of years now, the most popular DFS show that I'm involved in, I do Outside the Box with Scott Barrett on the Fantasy Points YouTube channel. He's a great DFS mind. Love doing that on Saturdays. Sundays, I'm on the Roto Grinder show in the morning with Eric Bimefor, and we've got a new co-host this year. Actually, Squirrel Patrol was on it for a bit of last year. This year, we've got a new show host who I'm not going to announce because I'm not sure if he's announced it publicly yet. So yeah, I'll be doing shows multiple places for the main slate. I might add something on this channel as well. It would probably be behind the paywall if I do something on this channel. I got to give something to people who sign up for the $5 a month subscription. Yeah, Underdog needs to drop MMA and NASCAR. That would be fun. Best ball. And it says, very good video. I'm devastated to learn I'm on Liam's side of the Warren/Loveland battle. I actually don't have a... I don't know Liam's side. I'm curious what that is. But it also gives me hope because he has generational run good. I mean, yeah, he's had some success. Yeah, let's win that Millie. That'd be fun next Thursday. Good afternoon, BP. Emwald, announcement may be coming soon on Underdog Battle Royale content on this channel, this very channel. Didn't do any last year. Charbonnet goes. I would have liked J.K. Dobbins there. Oh, but I've got Harvey. Okay, that's why I wasn't suggesting it to me. Let's go Ingram. First tight end off the board for me. So we're up to 1-3-4-1, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, RJ Harvey, Jordan Addison, Jalen Warren, Evan Ingram. Yeah, check it out. Hopefully you like what you hear. Hopefully you have some success checking out the channel, Rich. Liam is of the opinion that Loveland is the tight end that matters this season, and I've been saying I don't get why Warren is screaming at boards and Loveland hasn't moved. He said he thinks Loveland is the tight end 4 behind Kittle. Wow, that's spicy. Could see it. It's a good true serum pick. Is it something that Liam has not said publicly, though? Is this the first time he stated that opinion? That's what I want to know. It's not a true serum take if you just say it all the time. That's why it's a tough ask for content creators in particular, because like I'm always telling you exactly what I think. But it's a fun video. I like that. I like participating in the video, and then I like seeing what they do. Hopefully they cut mine shorter than what I said, because again, it was kind of like came up with the opinion and then just recorded the video. I took like a full minute. I thought about re-recording, but I had to get to the airport. So hopefully they edit it a little bit. Especially because apparently I shared the same thoughts as Nez. So hopefully they used his longer version and then cut mine a little bit. All right, let's get a toot and share. It's a fun team. No, that is true. Anyone can be the week 17 tight end you need. Rich said he thinks the basis on Loveland is due to his ability and how Ben Johnson likes to run things through the tight end. Yeah, I mean, I can see the bull case for sure for Colston Loveland. I took him in my dynasty rookie draft that I took over this year. I think I took him in my another league as well, my keeper league. The What said that he's a big fan of the Herzig/Sean take, which is 0 tight end. Most of my teams are 0 TE, so I've been getting more of the elites recently to balance it out. Yeah, late tight end. I hear what you mean. Yeah, I think that is. I do a fair amount of that too. It's kind of like I really like the elites in particular, the big three. On DraftKings, I love Bowers and McBride just because I think they're going to separate from the field in terms of receptions. So that's really powerful in full PPR. On Underdog, I do some Kittle. I don't like go out of my way to always get Kittle or anything. I think it's better on Underdog to do late tight end personally. I really like the elites on DraftKings. I don't know. I guess I don't have like a really strong stance other than loving Bowers and McBride, I guess. Like I love those guys where they're going. And then it's kind of like if I don't get one of those guys, sometimes I'll take Laporta. Kind of depends on like what's available when Laporta is there or when Hawkinson is there. Is there like a player that I really like at wide receiver or... All right, what do I want to do here? Got the double Rams. It's going to bring back with Darnell Mooney. Hopefully I didn't miss some news there. Yeah, Loveland started around 145th on the big board. Would you trade DJ Moore in a 10-team half PPR? Would you trade DJ Moore, Travis Hunter, Godwin, Chubb for Kittle, Rice, Bateman, Corum? DJ Moore, Hunter, Godwin, Chubb. You have Amon-Ra, Terry, Keon, Douglas, Downs, Chase Brown. Man, that's a tough one because I'm pretty high on Travis Hunter, but I think generally you just want the best player available. I probably would do it. I think. Who'd you say you got Goddard? Yeah, I think I would. Because I think Kittle is the most valuable player there. So just getting the best player is typically what I want to do, especially in a 10-team league. And then you get Rice is just easy for redraft. You throw him in your IR for the first 6 weeks. You start him when he's back. So you're getting basically 2 elites and you're giving, some players with question marks. So my take is yes, you should do that. All right, good. We got a stack with our Josh Allen. We did lose Michael Penix there. He used to be so easy to get. You could get Michael Penix whenever you wanted it. Apparently those days are over. Like a hot girl at a bar. If you want some Penix, he's there for you. Not anymore. Wait, what is the Otten news? What did I miss on Otten? That could be bad for me too. Take a flyer on... Okay, here's what it is. Take a flyer on Delvin Culp from Tampa Bay, tight end. Otten is injured for a few. Did Otwin get like hurt in practice today or something? I missed. I got to check my news apparently, because I've been drafting a lot of Otten also. Team is hopeful but not certain Juwan Jennings will play week 1. Still working through a calf injury. General Manager Lynch on Juwan Jennings. Both things can be true. He has a calf injury and he wants a new contract. All right, Ray Davis. Makes sense for this team. Team stack. I'm trying to find the news on Otten. General Manager Gladstone on head coach Cohen's running back by committee approach with the Bucs. We look forward to bringing that to life here in Jacksonville. Each of these guys has a role here and now. Hopefully by here and now, he means today, and then one of them will be gone tomorrow. Travis Hunter will play week 1. He's healthy. Khalil Shakir seen participating in practice. Audric estimate to sign with the Eagles practice squad. Najee Harris he'll practice this week, play in week 1, a possibility. Greg Dulcich to Dolphins practice. There's a lot of news today that I missed out on. CEH and Carson Steele to the practice squad. Damian Martinez to the practice squad. Patriots releasing Javon Baker. Kimani Vidal to the practice squad. A lot of players to the practice squad. I'm still not seeing Cade Otton. Oh, Cade Otton will miss a little bit as he deals with a leg injury. What does that mean? He'll miss a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm just doing it. We're taking our Coker. We're taking our Coker. I need a quarterback, but I've got Josh Allen. I'm not really desperate. There's a lot of quarterbacks left that I could take. I'm not, even though I have the duo, I'm not like desperate to get Matthew Stafford. Yeah, they didn't give any kind of timeline. True, Egbuka at 4,600 in DFS. That'll be interesting. Leg injury and hamstring. Jeez. Agree with you, Emald. I have a lot of Juwan Jennings. They really need to figure that out. Jay Reed back at practice. Coker to the moon. Yeah, you know. That was such a bummer last week when I did a whole stream about how much I love Jalen Coker. Drafting him. I think Thielen's going to get traded to the Vikings. I'm going after my Coker. Coker, like the whole stream was like dedicated to Jalen Coker. And then with 20 minutes left in the stream, I forget who it was. Somebody came, maybe Mazone, came into chat and said, Josina just said that Thielen not being traded to the Vikings right now. And there's like, damn it. The whole thesis was, because there were like rumors around here in Minnesota. It was like, this is nearly a done deal. Thielen to the Vikings. So I'm trying to get out of it. Now, obviously, I'm glad I did. Coker is my the most money that I've spent on a wide receiver this year. So glad it worked out. But for a little while, it was looking dicey. Would have been cool if it just happened during that stream. Then I could have victory lapped right then and there. All right. I was lying. I really did want Matthew Stafford for this team with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Wasn't desperate. Could have made it work with Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers, whatever, but couple rounds left. I do have one large field tournament win that I'm not sure if I've talked about it on streams before, and I cannot find any evidence of it. I tried to sign into my old email address. There was before Snapchat took over the website snap.com. There was, I believe, a search engine that owned the domain snap.com that was trying to get into fantasy sports, and they ran some week-long fantasy sports contests for baseball, for basketball. I don't know if they did it for football, but I think so. My memory is, if I'm remembering all this right, I was in high school and I won a week of basketball. It was a shortened week. It was only like 4 days of basketball. It might have been like right after the All-Star break or something. But the week before I won, the person who won, it was like, I want to say it was like 20,000 people in it. It might have been, it was probably more likely like 2,000 or 3,000. I'm probably like, exaggerated in my memory. But the week before I won, the person won a Michael Jordan rookie card. The week that I won, so I won the following week, a basketball contest. I won a David Robinson rookie starting lineup action figure. And I was like, all right, cool. This will probably, Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think at that point he was already had basically completed his Hall of Fame career. So this will probably be worth something. And I ended up selling it right after I graduated college, needed some money. I think it had gone down in value. I think I sold it for like $40 or something on eBay. Unfortunately, I cannot. So because it was in high school, I was using an old AOL email address, and I cannot access that email address. I want to find some evidence of this win on snap.com, which is now a defunct website. But I want the details, and I cannot find that anywhere. And then I think I got third in a baseball contest like 2 weeks later. So that was my first taste of large field fantasy sports contests. And Walt says, I'm very excited for my sweat-free shot at $1 million on FanDuel. Will be my first time ever as an MMU bro. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, everybody should be doing is that for, I think that's just for one entry, right? Is it sweat-free for 150 lineups? I guess I have not looked closely at that. But yeah, FanDuel is running a pretty crazy week 1 contest in their Millie Maker contest. Rich says Coker is better than Liget, even though coaches want to have Liget be second. Coker will take that spot by week 6, 7, I bet. That's kind of my assumption also, which is why I'm buying more of Coker. The only other, because the field has been higher on Liget all offseason, and I think it's gonna continue to be higher on Liget. And I do think that this is a bump for Liget also, obviously. I think he is either the wide receiver 2 or 3 at this point. So I have very little Liget, and now he also gets a big bump. So I'm like, I want to make sure I have some just in case. I posted about this on Twitter today. Jordan Vanek responded and said that his theory is he's always thought that Liget is a player who's going to take a big leap in year 2. So he hasn't been good so far, but that has been his thought all along, that Liget is more of a project player who's going to be taking a big leap this year. So he still thinks Liget over Coker. He's one of the few, but I think because there are some people who think that, I think it's a possibility for sure. Vanek is a sharp guy. So I do want to be taking some shots. I don't want to completely overlook the possibility that maybe Liget is not a completed story at this point. We'll go Kendre. It's a 2-6-7-2. Sidekick wants a third tight end with my Evan Ingram, Dalton Kincaid. I think that's a viable tight end room. Kincaid and Ingram. So we'll see if it's the best available. Not opposed to just having those, to taking a third with that group. Sweat free for all 150 is pretty awesome. All entries that do not cash will receive a refund in the form of DFS only site credit. All right, so you don't get your money back, but you get essentially your money back in DFS entries for the following week. That's awesome. Or I guess for Monday Night Football, whatever. Yeah, I will. I'll have to max that out too. Glad that they're trying to rejuvenate their DFS a little bit. Feels like they've just completely neglected it the past few years. This is a fun team. I don't think I dropped this baby. The final team: Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford at quarterback, Christian McCaffrey, RJ Harvey, Jalen Warren, Bashal Tutin, Ray Davis, Kendre Miller at running back. At wide receiver, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, Jordan Addison, Darnell Mooney, Jalen Coker, Wan'Dale Robinson. Tight ends, Evan Ingram, Dalton Kincaid, and Harold Fannin. So we're pretty stacked up with Josh Allen, with Ray Davis, and Dalton Kincaid. We've got a bringback of Devontae Smith for week 17. Then we've got Matthew Stafford with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Darnell Mooney bring back on that one. So we've got game stacks with both of our quarterbacks. Only 2 quarterbacks, but I think that's okay with Josh Allen. I think this team cooks. Chi-Town True goes 2-4-10-2 for Chi-Town True. That is bold. Let's take a look at it. Lamar Jackson with Daniel Jones. I guess if you're going to take a 2 quarterback team with Daniel Jones, you better have Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen on it, or Jaden Daniels, I suppose. Feels a little bit thin, but yeah, you got Lamar Jackson. You don't really need that much more. Daniel Jones probably still the starting quarterback in week 7 to cover the bye. So that could work. 4 running backs with Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall, Dylan Sampson, Rachaad White. That seems a little bit thin to me. I would like a fifth running back here. But you've got, I mean, if Dylan Sampson is the starting running back there, you do have 3 week 9 buys too. I would so you're going to be missing at least a spot in week 9. I don't love that. Jamar Chase. So you've got 10 wide receivers: Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice, Chris Olave, Stephon Diggs, Chris Godwin, Rashad Bateman, Luther Burden, Romeo Dobbs, Darius Slayton, Alec Pierce. So I see you're going to miss probably 6 games of Rashee Rice, probably some games with Chris Godwin, so you make up for it with numbers there. I still would have probably gone with another running back instead of one of these later wide receivers would have been my approach there. I think you have plenty to cover those early weeks. You also have Luther Burden, who's probably more of a late season play. So I think a little bit too much at a wide receiver. Then you also have 2 week 7 buys: Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. I like that you're stacking up your quarterback quite a bit. But yeah, you're going to be without a tight end in week 7. You're going to be missing a running back in week 9. So I think you're going to have a tough time advancing with this structure. So that would be my feedback on that team. It'll more likely be what I play on there for the rest of the season. Since, yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to be maxing those out, but I'm glad that they're putting the effort in. Thank you, Nickel. Like my team. Good drafting with you as well. The what? Also, yeah, it's a little bit risky with just Daniel Jones there in week 7. Obviously, decent, probably better than 50% chance that you will still have Daniel Jones as the quarterback in week 7, but not much better than 50%. So pretty risky build there, I would say. All right, I am going to get out of here. If you could, please do like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the little notification bell if you want to get alerts when I go live. Also, there is a, I'm going to sneeze. Oh man, I was trying to finish that before I sneezed. If you could, if you're interested, there is a Discord link in the description of this video. It's free to join, so check that out if you want another Discord. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna get out of here before I sneeze again. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.